And welcome to Rush Chandler Stadium, home of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. But they will not be taking over today. No, you are on Minority Baseball Prospects TV, and we are broadcasting live from the Safe at Home game here at Rush Chandler. As you can see, Matt Ryan, former Atlanta Falcons quarterback, overseeing the bat ceremony to see who will go first. As you can see, good crowd here at Georgia Tech. Lovely day for baseball. Not a cloud in the sky. Warm temperatures, but comfortable. But again, you can see the teams mixed up this year. A twist in the 10th annual Safe at Home game presented by L.E.A.D. As the teams are mixed up this year. Law enforcement and firemen mixed up with the ambassadors of L.E.A.D. Once again, my name is Jamie Walker. Glad you could join us here from Georgia Tech, Rush Chandler Stadium. I'm along with A.D. Drew, who will be on the broadcast shortly. But, again, wonderful day for baseball. Glad you could join us. So we are looking at the ceremony. Matt Ryan, longtime quarterback here for the Atlanta Falcons. Of course, went to one Super Bowl. We're not going to talk about the result, but definitely someone that has done a lot in the community, in the city of Atlanta. A lot of people don't know about his philanthropy throughout the city, has done and wanted to make those kind of connections, you know, being in the city. You know, I think it was labeled as the city too busy to hate. Well, it's been things that have, happened within the city limits. But again, it's one of those things where people are constantly trying to bridge the gap between all differences in people, and this game is one of them. 10th anniversary. Again, CJ Stewart, Kelly Stewart, the founders of L.E.A.D. sponsoring this game. We just talked about how they brought this game together during the Mike Brown saga in Ferguson, Missouri. And we're going to listen up real quick. CJ Stewart speaking now.
Byron Blakely playing catcher. Taquavius Lola playing right field. Andre Pam, center field. Angel Cordova, infield and catcher. Rashad Farrell, outfield. Jimmy Sewell.
As they're doing the introductions now of both teams. Both teams wearing number 22, representing CJ Stewart, as that was his number with the Cubs organization. Little surprise before we started this.
Calvin Z, second base and pitcher.
As A.D. Drew will join us now. And A.D., what do you think about an event like this, man?
Well, Jamie, as I was walking back to the broadcast booth, I heard how they started this with the unfortunate killing of Mike Brown, who if you don't know, I'm originally from St. Louis,
yes,
Missouri.
I do.
Ferguson actually lived in Ferguson, Missouri at one point in time in my life, and tell you how things, 6 degrees of separation, and it won't take me all 6 to get to these. My youngest sister, the late Cora Faith Drew Walker, was subsequently elected to be the state representative in Missouri after Michael Brown. So she did a lot to help restore that community after the unfortunate incidents in Ferguson, Missouri. Unfortunately, my sister passed away at the age of 37 in 2022. So.
And again, when you're talking about just that kind of labor of love, when it comes to revitalizing the community after you have something tragic happen like that, you just can't give enough kudos for that type of work. So, again, you can see both of these lineups introducing themselves and passing the mic. You can see them kind of turn towards the cameras at this point. So,
Keith Kendall, pitcher and utility. Keith Pope, Catcher.
As we have people come in the broadcast booth not realizing that we got hot mics.
We
over
do
here.
have hot mics.
Hot mic, hot
But
mic.
that's okay. That's okay. As you see,
we need one of those on-air signs put out there
We
so
do.
that so people know not to bother us.
as we see, everything kind of may not be in camera shot, but you can see the ambassadors and also the rookie league members. Zed, just a personal account. I actually was a coach for L.E.A.D, and I can tell you what kind of great organization this is. I was the Harper Archer, and it was at that time middle school baseball coach before I actually went on to another spot, took a head softball coaching position. But tell you what, when you're talking about just the labor of love that Kelly and CJ put together, you're talking about two people that set out to change inner city Atlanta for young black boys. And now they've expanded that even to tennis with their kids. I think they have a tennis organization. So at this time, national anthem will be played.
And now Kelly Stewart will perform Lift Every Voice and Sing.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicings rise high as the listening skies, and let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun, and let us march on till victory is won.
Thank you, Kelly.
And we are back here from Georgia Tech, Rush Chandler Stadium, McNeese Ballpark for the Safe at Home game. See, listen, CJ never told me Kelly could sing, man. Kelly never displayed that skill.
Bruh, you wind up with stuff like this, you always find out somebody's got some type of skills, man. And before we had the two anthems, we were talking about the formation of this league, my brother, and as a former Parks and Rec director and somebody who has helped start organizations like this, I know how hard this can be, going through getting the sponsors, getting the people to believe in you, recruiting the parents, recruiting the kids, finding venues, finding opponents. till you're able to build your own league. So
All right, Erica, it's on you.
Listen, this is not just it's a calling for them. It's
and it has to be.
yeah. Anytime you're dealing with people and trying to assist, it always takes funding, and they've been able to do what they needed to do to make this league continue. And talking about 10 years in this game, they've impacted a lot of people, including coaches, teachers. He wants a future mayor out of of the city of Atlanta out of L.E.A.D. That's always been one of his dreams. So it's definitely a labor of love, but along with that, it is a calling when it comes to CJ and Kelly.
Yes, and it has to be. There's so much of your own personal time, personal money, and not only do you have to be invested in something like this, but your family has to be on board with it, because starting organizations like this takes so much time away from your family, your friends, your social life, your business. Because most people aren't able to start this as a full-time venture. They have to have a 9-to-5. And this becomes the 5 to 9, which turns into a 9 to 5 or a 9 to 9 a lot of times.
Exactly. I don't think people realize just how much work goes into it. We're out here on a weekend, but it is truly their calling. They're passionate about it, and they want these kids to do it the right way without sacrificing who they are as people.
Yeah.
They interact with a lot of different kinds of folks, and it's really just to let them know how to maneuver amongst and maneuver in this world. So, it's not one of those organizations where they truly forget who they are. And they step in their blackness. They do all the time. You can see it.
Again.
They step in their blackness. They make no bones or apologies about it at all. They don't step away from it. And so when you're talking about just who they are as people, they interact with a whole lot of different people that don't look like them, but they are unafraid to shy away from who they are. It's not a code switching. They stick with the code.
Look, anything that's going to be positive for our community, the future men and young ladies
Ladies
who
and
are going
gentlemen,
to
don't forget.
one day take care of us, my
That
brother
also on
Jamie.
today's game. Oh no, you keep that
And,
playing. Keep that playing.
One thing we've been blessed with today is the weather.
Yeah, the weather's phenomenal.
Clear skies, beautiful skyline here in Atlanta. We're here at Rush Chandler Stadium. Last time I was here, saw a great, thrilling, dramatic victory in the SWAC baseball championship. So I love coming to this stadium. Great hospitality here from the people at Georgia Tech. So let's give a shout out to them for supporting this venture.
Absolutely. Georgia Tech's been a good partner for a lot of people, as you see Team Home taking the field. Listen, I talked to CJ before the game started. He is actually playing with the home team. He if you follow him on social media, he's been working out, going at it, trying to stay young and spry. But he says, look, you got one at bat out of me and one and one in the field, and then I'm done.
That's kind of like me when I get on the basketball court. I got 3 times. I'm going down on offense, defense, offense again, then I'm pulling the shirt like, Coach, come get me. Coach, come get me. Head tap, something. What's the signal for the day? Come get me.
Yeah, absolutely. And
I got one good lockdown left.
Look, I told somebody I'm just posting up. I'm posting up, putting you on the block. Look, putting you on the block, and that's it. But here, one of the unique things about this game, it is self-officiated.
Explain that.
So what they're doing, they're making their own calls. And what they're doing is, showing the negotiation between each other and kind of working themselves out. But there are no umpires here. They're seeking to hit themselves. You see the pitching. It's not one of those things where it's a softball charity event. Oh, no. They are trying to win the game. And this year, with the unique twist of them being mixed up, the competition is a little bit different, but I still think it'll be intense.
So this is basically like we used to do when we were growing up, playing on the vacant lot next to grandmama's house, where you just get out there and you call it yourself. You knew that pitch was a strike, bro.
Exactly.
Bro, you knew I caught that corner. You know I got you at first base. Now you see, you mentioned mixed up. Kind of go through how the lineups are mixed up there with people going to be looking for?
Well, just look for, the ambassadors. The ambassadors are mixed in, as we see Kelton Hill will set us off here. But, again, the law enforcement and firefighters are actually it was going into this, I thought it would be separate. How you doing? As we have Mr. Jeff Francoeur stepping into the booth. Jeff, how you doing? My name is Jamie Walker, along with A.D. Drew.
I'm good, man. Just hoping all these men don't blow out here today.
I know. That's what I'm thinking.
I told CJ I'm going to do it next year. I'm getting a hip replacement in November. So I told him I'm going to play next year.
Absolutely. So, look, you still got it, though, Jeff. As we
look
have
at
a
that.
shot to right center. It's like it's going over the heads and back to the warning track. Somebody falls again. That's that hip check you're talking about. He's going to feel that later. Getting over the third, and Hill is down safely and excited about it. Kelton Hill setting it off as we have the first hit of the game. And, listen, when you're talking about, just this baseball game, I told someone earlier, the intensity going along with this game is going to be there.
Oh, you know it. When they come out there like that, they're trying to I was down there talking to all the guys, and they're having fun, don't get me wrong, but they want to win.
Absolutely.
Let's be honest.
Absolutely. So glad you could join us here. But listen, I'm old, not old, but I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna talk about this. We're gonna talk about this a little bit because I got to bring it up. My first job as an educator was at Meadow Creek High School.
Oh.
And somebody was a receiver at a local high school, Parkview High School.
Hey, I say this all the time, man. We had an incredible team, and we had two great running backs. So teams would start to pack them, and then I'd just run deep and they'd throw it.
You say you just run?
Just run deep.
As again, see ball in. It's like a ball.
But I've lived here all 40 years of my life.
Yes.
And I always say it, man, we have some of the best athletes in the country right here, not just in the state of Georgia, but in Atlanta. It really is incredible.
It is. So we see a ball fouled back. But again, when you're talking about this game and being asked to be part of it,
Yep.
What was your first reaction?
Oh, I'm in. So I've known CJ a long time, and I tell people this all the time. I just was telling someone earlier, you hear a lot of people that talk about how they want to change things. I mean, I think the whole country right now, we can say that every night. But he does something about it. And so for me to be able to be a part of this, I got 4 kids, man. Mm-hmm. And I always say this, there's nothing stronger than community. Everybody coming around each other. And I was lucky. I grew up in a area over there by Parkview, by Stone Mountain, Lilburn, Georgia. And I was fortunate, man. We were all one big family over there. People looked after each other. And so when CJ has talked to me about this and what his idea was, man, I love it because at the end of the day, again, if you can have people come together like that and they're looking out for the best interest of each other and parents know they're looking out for their kids,
yes,
it's a slam dunk.
And just the city of Atlanta in general. I was talking about the audience and just the makeup in general. Things happen here. But I think oftentimes, and I've been in the city 23 years now, and so when you're talking about just the elements of the city, but it also is a welcoming element to the city of Atlanta as well.
Oh, well, I say it all the time. People love coming to Atlanta. Visiting teams, when they come here, they love it. And look how many athletes live in Atlanta. Every sport here during the off season. So, we're lucky here. We have a lot of great things going. But I think the cool thing is CJ's taking it a step farther and bringing people together. And I think, it's no different. The reason I'm out here, Matt's out here. Guys that have got to know. I tell people all the time, you get around CJ, man, he's pretty convincing. He lets you see a vision and paint a picture. And I was texting him the whole time while I was training for the Petrie Road Race, just busting his chops, man. But he looks good. He's lost 25 pounds.
He has. I saw him early, although he said, don't let all that working out fool you. He has one at bat and one out in the field with him, and that's it.
Yeah, well, for sure. But, we say this too, and that's what I told CJ, because he knows that he's been around baseball his whole life. Baseball can bring people together like no other sport can. And I just mean that you go in an MLB locker room, you got Venezuela, Dominican, Puerto Rico. I mean, you have every ethnicity, and they all get along. Absolutely. They all hang out. They go to dinner. They do this. And it's like, so if you can see 26 grown men with the possibility to do it, there's other places you can do it.
Absolutely. I know with your work and playing for the Braves organization, how much have the Braves kind of impacted L.E.A.D?
Oh, it's huge. And I'll tell you this, man. They do such a good look. The greatest player in the history of our game was an African-American who played here in Atlanta, right? And I always say this. It was such a cool moment. You know, I wasn't born yet, obviously, but my dad was there. And he always told me to see a city come together like that after what he had been. And I always tell people about Hank, okay? He could have been bitter. Right. He could have done a lot. Never. Not one time did you ever hear him talk about any of that bitterness, and instead he brought people together. And it's why his legacy to me is way much more than baseball.
I fully agree with that. Fully agree with that as we see runners on second and third. So we await
got
the
a 1-1
pitch.
count.
1-1 count. Ball
Oh,
foul back.
Yeah, it's a long swing. Get that fastball in on his hands right here.
It does. But, Jeff, I appreciate your time. Looking at the beautiful weather that we have here today, you could not ask for better weather for a baseball game.
You know what? I love that he does it here because with the city skyline in the background. I tell people all the time, come to a night game here at Georgia Tech sometime. It is absolutely gorgeous. Oh, he rang him up.
He did ring him up.
See, I think, you know what? Maybe instead of playing next year, maybe I need to be an umpire.
Hey, go ahead. Now, they do the self-officiating thing.
Yeah, but, you know, does that really work?
Just every now and then you got to have that neutral party.
Hey, you know what I like? What's going to, you know, it might work out nice now. When you get to those late innings and you start getting that close call, there might be some words.
Wait. It's amazing that a former MLB player wants to be an umpire considering I'll shoot those umpires out there.
Hey, and I got to admit, I did get thrown out 5 times in my career, so I can't talk about that.
But just, I mean, you're talking about CJ, you're talking about just L.E.A.D in general and Kelly. Can you believe that kind of union just producing what they've been able to produce with L.E.A.D?
You know what? No. It's amazing what they've done, but I always tell this. What Kelly and CJ do a good job of, he got it in on his hands.
The third. Let's see if he'll be able to get the play out at first to end the inning.
I'll say this to finish here. The thing they do so good is they build relationships. And I think they've taught me a lot about just bringing people together. They build relationships first, and second thing they do is then they bring people together.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to keep it here. We're going to talk a little more just during the break. But Jeff, when it comes to bringing in just people in general and supporting, and the city supporting, you know, famous folks like yourself and Matt Ryan and others, how do they see this organization as being pertinent to the city?
Well, I tell you all the time, I always say it because, like, you know, for me, I have 4 kids.
Yes.
And I think resource officers are some of the most important things. You want to know your kids being taken care of. And if it done the right way, and again, when we came up, our resource officer, dude, he used to come down to football practice and mess with us. He used to come play basketball in the gym with us. They've gotten away from that. And you got to get them back with the kids. And if you do that, you build a relationship that people trust. And I think what they're doing is awesome.
Absolutely. Now, talk about what you're doing now. Let's talk about just what you're doing now.
I'm chasing 4 kids all over the freaking place. I got 11, 8, 5, and 3. I'm coaching 2 softball teams, a baseball team, and a flag football team. And so, you know, I took a step back this year with the Braves a little bit to be home with my kids. And, you know, I know how important that is. I always tell people I'm the way I am because my dad was involved my whole life. And so, you know, for me to be able to be home with them and hands-on has been awesome.
All right, AD with a question.
Now, you mentioned flag football, and I've been a big fan of flag football, especially started in the state of Georgia. My daughter played in Florida, before it came to Georgia. Just what do you think about just these emerging sports such as flag football and the opportunities that it's given not only young men but young ladies to play in high school, get scholarships and those things?
Dude, I coach my son's 3rd grade flag football team, but I coach my daughter's 6th grade flag football team. They had more fun. They were out there, getting after it, going. So I love that they're starting to blow this up. And I'll tell you this too, man. My son is 8. He's about to turn 9. He loves it. He's not huge yet. And so I'm like, you know what? I don't want him out there getting smoked on a football field. He might never want to play. So I'm going to let him grow a little bit more. But he's getting everything he needs to learn the game. Uh-oh, look who's up, the man of the hour.
The man of the hour, CJ Stewart.
So he told me he's going to hit the football facility in left field.
If he does this, we may have to stop the broadcast.
Would there be a mic drop moment?
It would be.
Here we go.
Let's get the pitch. Just inside and high for ball 1. But again, listen, CJ, and for people that don't know this, one of the premier hitting instructors in this country.
Oh, for sure.
You know, his work with folks, you know, the Jason Haywards, the Dexter Fowlers. he's been putting in that work. So it's not just, the labor of love with this. It's hit down the
Oh, yeah.
to me. Now, I don't know how much running he's about to do, but
he almost blew out.
now that looks like his Peachtree Road race.
Man, I'm not going to lie to you.
Right there.
That was a beautiful job of pulling in the hands, but I'm going to have to be honest, guys. I'm calling him out. That's got to be a double. I got a broken hip. That's got to be a double.
Got to leg that out. But, again, when we're talking about, CJ Stewart and talking about Kelly
we got
Stewart
a pinch runner.
Yes, we do. And he leaves the field. Maybe for the last time.
I hope we're doing the free substitution so he can come back in. And
this is a retirement and everybody get a stand and O.
He was like, I'm done. Ball outside and low for ball one. But again, we were talking about just sports. One of the things that L.E.A.D sought to do was to integrate, the game of baseball into the inner city. You talked about Hank Aaron. You talked about just how much baseball was prevalent in that day. Talk about bringing more minorities into the game again and how kind of L.E.A.D, puts that in the forefront.
We got to make it cool to do it, right?
Yes.
These kids want to grow up and they want to be LeBron. But you know what I tell them all the time? Look at how many great African-American baseball players there are. And I've had this talk with Ryan Howard all the time because as I've told, so me and Ryan Howard, we play together.
Play a third close.
Did he get him?
We will see self-officiating.
I think he's safe.
I think he got under the tag too.
Yeah.
And he will.
He said even third base.
He gave it. I appreciate that.
Look at that. Hey, look, self-officiating may work. Now, we'll see in the eighth.
That's what it worked right now.
Yes, it did.
Because it's first inning. You still got about 4 more bats apiece per player.
But I think I talked to Ryan Howard about this because he ended up having a big baseball camp for the inner city in Philadelphia. And I always told him, I said, you got to put your name on it. Myself, Chase Elliott, we all came and helped. Right. The same thing we're here with CJ today. Me, Matt, I'm all for this, but you got to people got to see you out here doing the work. We're gonna have a tag. Throw it to second, force out. Got him.
To force out at second, but a run scored.
He's gonna get away. It's not gonna be an error. He's gonna get lucky because he got an out.
He did.
But that's what CJ does a good job of. Is I think again, people see him out there working with these kids, and they say, "Hey, I want to do it." And I tell all the time, you ever get a chance to go to Kansas City to go to the Negro League Museum up there? It's one of the coolest things I've ever been to. I went 4 times when I was up there. It is incredible.
Now, that was Dez Siegel, the vice president of Minority Baseball Prospects, who popped up at
Go to second. You got him. Look at this. Another force out.
Dez has no wheels anymore.
Man, let me tell you.
And Dez is also the head baseball coach at Maynard Jackson High School.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
I'll tell you this, he ain't going to be preaching speed on the bases.
He will not.
We're going for power. We're going to be the New York Yankees out here.
They're going to try to outslug everybody.
Now, Jeff, I did want to ask you, because you're talking about getting more African Americans into playing baseball. One of the things that's been, as a former Parks and Rec director myself, has always been hurting us is the cost to entry, the barriers to entry, because cleats $100, bat $400, another $150 for the glove.
Yep.
All the different things. Now everybody wants to have the sliding pad and the slide bits and everything else. Since we got an error throw right there, that's gonna move the run up to second. He's gonna go third. We're gonna have a play at third.
Maybe close. And it looks like he's in safely at third.
But just how outside of people like you and other celebrities just donating and giving money, how do we help bring those barriers down and help get more African Americans into the game?
We got to do a much better job, and I mean this. I've told people for years of whether it's the fundraising or the parks raising money to give these kids the ability to do it. And I always said this, think about this, not just some of the young African American kids. There's plenty of white kids out there. No one can afford it. $600 to get started in the game.
We're not even going to talk about you feel like you have to play in somebody's travel ball league in order to get the looks and to get to the next level, just to make the high school team.
Absolutely. And I think that's the thing. I say this all the time. If you can get kids in at the young age, the ground level, and they understand the game and they like it and they'll keep playing.
Absolutely.
But you have to get them involved at a young age. And I've said this, too many parks now have gone to catering because of the money to travel ball. We got to get back to letting these kids play youth rec ball, learn how to play the game and have fun, and stop chasing the dime. You're going to get your dime. okay? But let it come to you.
And when I was a director, that was one of the biggest challenges that I had, that balance of, do I rent this field out on a Saturday or Sunday?
Because you know you can.
And know I can. I know I can sell out the concession stand, make 3-4 food runs to keep the concession stand happy. You know, obviously they're going to pay for the field, but there's so much residual for that. Or do I keep it open for my local kids on Saturday, but my local kids not playing on Saturday because they on somebody's travel ball team. So there's a real balance that you have to have.
There's got to be a fine line, and I think again, my dad didn't let me play travel ball, guys, until I was 11 years old.
Wow.
So I played at the rec park the whole way because he said, dude, you're 10 years old. You don't need to be traveling to play baseball, and you'll develop and get going. So I think, like I said, what CJ and what Kelly, and look, I give Kelly a lot of credit, man. She is behind the scenes in a lot of this. I shouldn't even say behind the scenes.
No.
She's out in the forefront and doing it. And so, again, you want to make real change, you do what they do, and you be people that are true to themselves, true to what they speak. People come along, man. I always say leadership is taking people where they can't get on their own and taking them along for the ride, and that's what those two do.
Absolutely. Well, Jeff, thank you for coming on with us.
Appreciate it. Absolutely.
Appreciate your time.
I wish I could sit here and announce this a little more with y'all because
it's warm.
It's funny. It's funny. I actually got my son. We got talking about rec practice. We got rec practice at 12:30 today. We're the Yankees, so my son's mad though, man. He's like, we're the evil empire. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate y'all being out here, man.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you. All right, we're going to take a break here from Rush Chandler Stadium. Make sure you come back on MVP TV.
Okay, Swaggy and Sassy. What was it that you wanted to show me?
Grandpa, you said the Swaggy chain harnessed the power and spirit of the Negro Leagues, waiting for someone with the passion and determination to unlock it. Something amazing just happened. I think I activated the power. Yes, you should have seen him throw the ball like the legend Satchel Paige.
That's remarkable, Swaggy. You have the opportunity to carry on the legacy of thousands of talented players.
Whoa, I had no idea there were so many.
The Negro Leagues were filled with talent and resilience. It wasn't until recently that over 300 of those players were acknowledged in the Baseball Hall of Fame. There was Willie Brown, known for hitting the home runs, Ben Taylor.
We are back here from Rush Chandler Stadium, McNeese Ballpark, for the Safe at Home game. We are at the top of the second. The home team got the first run of the ball game in controversial style. As we ball in for strike one. But again, AD, phenomenal interview with Jeff Francoeur. I'll tell you what, he's been in the city a long time. I told you, as a young coach, he was wide receiver, was ball hit sharply to first. We'll see if he's able to get back to the bag, dives, and he is safe. According to the base coach, again, self-officiating. It looks like he will stay on for that first run. First hit, first runner on. But, he was a senior at Parkview High School, my first job, first high school job. And he could have played college football. Like, he was set to go, I think, to Clemson. He was set to go to Clemson and decided to play baseball.
Wow.
Yeah, so full circle moment for sure.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And most of these professional athletes, like you said, Jamie, he played football. So, they didn't just specialize in one sport coming up. They played multiple sports. And then when they got of age, they figured out which one was their best opportunity to go to the next level. And we've even seen some of them switch in college where they started in one sport, get a scholarship in one, and wind up playing the other when they get to the collegiate level.
Yeah, I mean, it's been several players that have. I remember one locally when I was younger, ball foul, and what's crazy about it is making the decision based on the professional level because you could kind of see where he was going. Trot Nixon was another one. I don't know if anybody remember, played for the Red Sox for a long time. He's from Wilmington, North Carolina, near where I'm from. But he decided to play baseball, was going to go to NC State to play football. But, again, when you're making these choices, and he kind of alluded to the same thing when it came to black baseball players. And I think CJ's mission, one of the many missions of L.E.A.D, was for, as we get a
Foul
dribbler,
ball.
looks like it's going to stay foul, and it does. But one of the missions was to reintroduce baseball to black boys in the inner city Atlanta. You're like, that's one of his specific goals and missions. And for the love of it again, because I think Jeff alluded to it, making baseball cool again to play is one of those things where you do have to introduce it, but also once you get into it, it's phenomenal.
But you know what part of the problem is, Jamie? And
Yeah, you said it.
as we take a look at this beautiful skyline here in Atlanta, that's part of the problem. The space is not there anymore. You know, I grew up in the inner city, St. Louis, Missouri. Ball hit back to the pitcher. He's going to take it to first base, and we've got it out there at first base, our first out of the inning. But, you know, the parks.
Yeah.
And even if the parks are there, they're not safe. They're not clean. You know, we use, you know, summertime, bruh, get out my house.
And you used to be able to do that.
Yes.
Used to be able to do that.
Not worry about, mama didn't worry about me. You know, water, bottled water, boy, you better go out there and get that water
hose.
A hose pipe, as some of y'all like to call it in the South.
But, man, I mean, but you're right. This ball down and away. We'll get the count shortly. Again, when you're talking about, you know, the self-officiating, you know, it's always, you know, trying to take that advantage or have that advantage. But you see it pretty well here. In for a strike, swung and missed.
Yeah. I want to see when somebody throws that hook and how they going to call that. I wonder if anybody got a 12-6 anymore. It's probably
foul back.
Probably more like a 11-5 now.
Could be. But again, when you know, one of those games on a hot day, we'll see if, you know, people are willing to just take a lot of pitches. But 1-2 count, one out here. Top of the second, ball hit sharply. No, it's going to get down for the out. See if the runner will tag up at third, and he decides not to. Great catch by the shortstop.
All right, Jamie, help me out. I have no clue as to where we at on our lineup.
Listen. Talking about lineup,
okay,
we'll catch it when we can.
This is our number 9 hitter for Team Safe. This is our number 9 hitter.
Ball in for a strike. We'll see. They check with, again, when you see the self-officiating, it's interesting. You see the catcher look over and.
Did he go?
Yeah, try to verify what's going on. So in for strike one. Ball down in the way. They call that a strike as well. Over that right.
Now they like, bro, they caught the corner. That was low. Man, that was low.
So 0-2 count. 2 outs here in the top of the second. In and for strike 3. Swing and a miss. So no runs for the safe team. As we switch it up, bottom of the second, the home team will come back out. We'll take a break here from Rush Chandler Stadium here on MPB TV.
Known as the best first baseman in the game. And there's Oscar Charleston, fearless, and can steal a base with ease.
Wow, that was amazing, Swaggy!
Just like that, Swaggy. You're embodying the spirit of these legendary players.
Atlanta, Georgia. The HBCU football capital hosts the Cricket MEAC SWAC Challenge on August 24th. Florida A&M Rattlers, Norfolk State Spartans. SWAC versus MEAC. The rivalry is real. Come out to Center Park Stadium to see the returning HBCU national champions and 2 of the best HBCU bands in the land, the Marching 100 and the Spartan Legion. The day starts with a kickoff fan experience tailgate and concludes with a primetime matchup on ABC. For more information, visit MEACSWACChallenge.com.
If you think all pads are exactly the same, think again. This is Always Ultra Thins reinvented with the Always Triple Protection System. This pad wicks gushes 90% faster, absorbs even more so you can feel dry, and locks odors in. Rethink your pad for up to 100% leak-free and odor-free comfort with the totally reinvented Always Ultra Thins. This is always like never before.
Thank you guys for what you do for HBCU athletics. This is a fantastic avenue for all of us. This is our ESPN, so we love what you guys do. Brian, AD, Roy, all you guys at BCSN. We really appreciate what it is that you guys do for us.
We are back here, Georgia Tech, for the bottom of the second as the home team is back up, leading 1-0 and looking to add to that total. Who we got up, AD?
We have Brendan Sharp in the number 6 hole.
All right.
You know, you got to practice your listening skills out here as everybody wears number 22.
Yes.
Kind of like one of those Jackie Robinson days in Major League Baseball. And since I'm not as familiar with the faces, you know, if somebody comes off that bench, we're going to be screwed.
We will. As check swing and a foul into the dugout for strike one, 1-1 count. But, yeah, commemorating the 10th annual Safe at Home game, co-founder Kelly Stewart decided to get all the jerseys number 22 for CJ's number when he was with the Cubs organization. So that was really sweet right before the game started.
You know something? I really do try to remember 10 years ago what the heck I was doing, man.
You know what? I thought about it when they said it was the 10th. I'm like, really?
2014.
Time is just it just flies, man. Time flies, and you just never know what happens with it and how much of it you got left. So he has the ball, hits a second, looks like, drops it, and the runner will get on with the error. But again, you're talking about.
I don't know if that's an error, man, because that wasn't routine effort.
It wasn't.
That was extraordinary. Let's see what they put on the scoreboard.
We'll see what the crack staff says.
You know, when I'm the official, they gave me a hit on that. I'll say when I'm the official score, I'm not gonna give them an error on that dive and play.
Say you wouldn't.
No.
So who we got up, AD? Yes. All thrown over the first.
He's got Johnson on his jersey, and I see nobody with the name Johnson on my lineup card. So we may have a pinch hitter up here, my guy.
We just may. Again, the team's mixed up right before. Hits sharply down the third base line, but foul. I tell you what, has some heat behind it.
Yeah. And we've got activity in the bullpen. What's interesting about it is the red team warming up in the gray team's bullpen, or should I say team home versus team safe.
Got a pitch, ball.
But, you know, you could do that on these charity-type games, these fun games, and just use each other's bullpens and facilities. I'm surprised they ain't mixed up in the dugouts together. Hey, that's back.
Look at him.
That was literally hit towards us as my iPad takes a tumble.
There we go. Get to the kids.
Yes, that really just happened.
Yeah, it really just happened. Right on TV. Listen, man, my
we don't have a replay going because that almost hit our camera. Like,
it really did.
It was like 1 foot from the camera.
And that's why they moved. It was like one of those things was like, okay. No, it was cool, but again,
that was not cool.
Over the shortstop and in for a base hit. Gets it over the second, but runner is safe. So runners on first and second.
Yeah, that's the one thing about this sport. Whenever you baseball or softball, you have to have your head on a swivel when you hear the crack of that bat.
You better. It's one of those things. And you know, Roy was asking where we wanted to broadcast that. Hey, it's perfect vision right here. You can see everything.
Yeah, and unfortunately, you can catch it a few days too. Looks like we got a pitcher change.
And again, you got several players on both teams. So we have the pitching change. AD, let's talk for a second. When you're talking about the safe at home game, it is law enforcement and inner city youth collaborating for a game. The importance of law enforcement. I know a lot of times we talk about what transformational things is possible or what may happen, but at the end of the day, the way conditions are now, we have to get along. Talk about how important an important step of doing that with this game could be.
Let me explain something to you. You know, I told you I was former Parks and Recreation Director. And I walked into a council meeting one day, and we were talking about different things, funding, etc. Because you're always fighting for funding for your department, right? And I told the council, I was like, you realize the only two people who touch the people in this community are the police and the recreation department. And if the recreation department is not funded, it's going to be hard on the police, because the police will be out here chasing these youth instead of you giving them something to do, something constructive to do.
This ball hit hard.
That one might hit the
Right
wall,
there.
y'all.
It does hit the wall. The warning track gets it in.
That's a
cut off at second. Play at the plate. Gets it into the catcher, and he is out. Oh, we got some arguments between the teams. You love to see it. The other catcher comes out, says he's safe. One says he's out. We'll see what the agreement is. I'm looking. I see one out on the board.
I did not think we was going to have to go to replay.
Listen, and we talked about replay before this game.
Fire the producer.
You can't fire the producer. Swing and a miss.
So somebody need to get him out the ground, because he just screwed that off like a bottle of wine. Oh, man. But getting back to the conversation there, Jamie,
Ball high and
got
inside.
away from him. But, yeah, it's really good to see them come together, because, look, when is the only time you call the police? When you encounter the police, either you've done something or something has happened to you. So for them to get together in this type setting, where you're not dealing with the police in that type of atmosphere, where you have done something or something has been done to you or your property, it's great, because what you find out is, it's all for fun. But what you find out is these regular people too.
Yes.
They do just what you do, and police get such a bad stigma because a lot of times you aren't dealing with them under good circumstances. And for the police officers, getting to learn these kids and learning just how they think and seeing them with their hats down, man, it's tremendous. That's a shot
CJ
to left field.
Pops up, looks like maybe a can of corn. Hate to talk about him, it might drop, and it does. Now looks like CJ may leg out a double this time. Not gonna run too hard, but he's in for the double.
Now that's officially an E.
Yeah,
that was routine effort.
That was routine effort. But
as the president of Minority Baseball Prospects walks up here, Mr. Reggie Holland.
What's up, guys?
How you doing?
What's going on, Coach?
I'm good, man. Glad to be here, man. Support my lead family today. How you guys doing?
Man, look, bro, anytime I'm in your presence, I'm always doing good.
Oh, man, you're too kind, man. Likewise, we've been rocking since Tuskegee days, so
exactly.
It's mutual, bro.
Exactly. Since we got here, I'm going to start it off. What does it mean for an organization like Minority Baseball Prospects to partner with this Safe at Home game?
Oh, man, it's everything for us. It's everything for us. When you talk about L.E.A.D and what they do in the Atlanta community, and then also just around the country for black boys.
Ball popped
girls,
up towards first base. Close play. And we'll catch it. Great catch by the first baseman.
Like some of those former players you had there, Coach.
I actually recruited that kid. He's out of Washington High School right there.
All right. See, I knew you knew talent, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. But continue on. We'll stay here.
It means everything for us, because we have very like-minded initiatives and missions to make sure we serve the minority community and black kids, man, just giving them opportunities, taking away barriers. So to see an event like this, man, where it really embodies law enforcement and, the black kids out of the community to come together and play a game of baseball is second to none. Hats off to CJ and Kelly.
Yeah. Now, Jeff Francoeur was up here doing the first inning, and we was talking to him about what it takes to get African Americans, even whites who don't have a lot of money, Hispanics, more into baseball. And you guys at Minority Baseball Prospects are one of the organizations that's knocking down some of those barriers. Kind of talk about that, what you guys are doing and what you guys still looking to do in the future to knock down even more barriers.
Well, I think it always say, my guy CJ says there's no fun, fun without funding, right? No. So to start with that, man, a lot of these sponsors, these corporations and just organizations that are around, man, providing those resources, providing the dollars, man, to allow these kids to actually participate is the first thing. But also, too, you have to be visible for them. A lot of kids, the game kind of got away from our culture a little bit, more so football, baseball, basketball on the scene. But just with us and Minority Prospects, man, we've been around the country, making sure that we're visible, teaching the fundamentals. And once they understand the fundamentals and then they begin to grow in development, I think we can retain some of them. This is a difficult game. So, you know, we talk about that all the time, man, how difficult this game is. It can run your way sometimes. So if we can really sharpen those tools, those fundamentals for these kids, they'll stick with it, man, and they'll see success.
Yeah, the only thing that you could do, fail 70% of the time, and still be considered a Hall of Famer.
Absolutely, right?
Absolutely. Reggie, I follow you all on social media all the time. Y'all are around this country. What is the response when it comes to when you all drop in the city and put on a showcase?
Oh, man, it's almost as if we've rejuvenated the country and the black community. We've been in, 28 states in 4 short years, man, so, and 1 international property. So that's been a big thing just to see and hear the response from the communities. They haven't had anything like that. You know, most times people come in, they'll do an event, and they'll leave. But for us, man, it's about connectivity. We bring our helping hands, nonprofit in, make sure we wrap our arms around the community, and so that they get to know us on an intimate level.
Absolutely, absolutely. Talk about HBCU baseball in general and how you're trying to grow the game.
Oh, man, HBCU baseball, first off, that's my heart, my passion. I spent several years at Tuskegee University as the head coach, so it means everything to me. 4 years ago, we started the HBCU All-Star Game. That game right there symbolizes the structure that MVP believes in, which is bringing the best together to give us the best opportunity to be seen in front of the scouts. Sometimes it's a little scarce with the scouts during the year. You know, they have to believe that you're playing the best competition sometimes. So here nor there, we got, all-stars together, man, and it's been helping. In the last 4 years, man, we've put about 5 in the draft from HBCUs, which has been a very positive sign of growth.
Now, you along with Alex Weiss, your vision, what is the next ascension for MVP?
Oh, that's a good question, man. Well, we look forward to expanding in the next 5 years, man, and possibly putting more development plots around the country so that we can make sure kids are getting it 12 months out of the year. So when we go around the country, we engage a lot of trainers, coaches, college coaches, and we bring them all in to participate in our camps so that we can show the community who's here actively when we're not. But for MVP, we want to actually soon establish something, locally in these cities so that they can learn academically and then learn developmentally, because academics, you're going to hear us say it all the time.
And there's a shot. Oh, that gets down past the right fielder. That's going to be to the wall. There. And I think he's going to leg that out for 3.
But again, talking about the development of just, the vision of the way that you all do things and all over, and just your presence on social media, because that's where it's at as far as exposure is concerned. But, talk about how you and L.E.A.D kind of work hand in hand and how y'all even got together.
Yeah, so that relationship is actually personal there.
Yeah.
Kelly and CJ are like brother and sister to me. We've been knowing each other since the 90s.
Okay.
But also CJ was my hitting instructor.
Okay.
Once he finished pro ball. So he helped me to go on and succeed. And I just wanted to give back to him by allowing his players some opportunities to play at the college level. And then here it is, we're president of MVP. Now we're partnering together as company. And, man, it's been crazy. The impact we've been able to give the black community here in Atlanta together has been very powerful.
Absolutely. It's been phenomenal. Again, I talked earlier about, just the teams. I was a lead coach at Harper Archer Middle School at one point, man. And
Kelly and I were talking about that momentarily.
It's crazy, just full circle moments.
As we've got a pass ball that scores a run. That's now. Let's see. I'm trying to remember which team is on the top.
It looks like 3-1.
Team safe.
Team safe. So it brings us a score to 3-1. Continue on, gentlemen.
But just full circle moment for everyone. When you see head coach of the Maynard Jackson Jaguars, Des Stiegel.
Yeah, Des,
listen,
man. Shout out Des. There's so much for MVP.
Yes.
Shout out Des.
And it's just a wonderful thing where you can see people working together for and just as cohesive. The egos aren't crazy, but for a greater purpose. It's just a beautiful thing.
That's right, man. And it's something we have to keep going, too, because the growth, it's there for us.
Absolutely. Do you miss coach?
No. I can answer that outright. I think I gave my all at Tuskegee for those 13 years. Gave them everything, gave the institution everything, each kid and family everything. So I left it all on the field. But I get my fix when we go around. If Prez wants to get out there and throw some BP, hit some fungo, Alex and I, you'll see us all the time, man. So, no, we're good on the coaching end.
I got to talk about Alex for a second.
Absolutely.
I know he's not
Let's
here.
do that.
Listen, the job he did at Reed, I don't think people really, truly understand what the phenomenon that Reed High School is and was. Talk about that for a second.
Yeah, for sure. Well, it's hard to talk about Alex without talking about giving praise to Greg Goodwin.
Yes.
Who pretty much established everything and then brought Alex in. But what Alex was able to continue, first of all, that's a pressure job when you receive that because the history is so extensive of putting pros in the league. College kids, 100%, right? But Alex came in and put his, his eggs in the basket, man, and really kept it going and actually made it even better, made it a national. I think Alex actually brought national recognition to it. So that's what I love to give him kudos for. Winning record, man, out of this world and almost won a state championship. It was a heartbreaker, but kudos to him for being the coach of the year as well his last year.
Absolutely. Now you've expanded into softball as well. Talk about how that's been able to kind of establish legs and walk now.
Now this could be my opinion, right?
Okay.
But I think softball is going to be much bigger than baseball.
I absolutely believe. I absolutely.
And if you pay attention to the growth in the short 2 years that we've had, it's been an amazing response. First of all, I'm a girl dad, so fathers are going to put everything behind their daughters. So that's what we kind of see. The energy is amazing when you see these families come and support these young ladies, but just their energy and passion is unmatched.
Absolutely.
I think they give it their all. I think softball is going to be amazing, man.
Absolutely. Talking to Reggie Holland here, Georgia Tech. Glad you could join us here. Let's chop it up some more, man.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate y'all having us.
Yeah. Now I want to continue on with that softball. What future events do you guys have coming up on the softball side of MVP?
Yes. So as we speak, we're getting ready for a national showcase tomorrow at Morrow High School for our young ladies. So we'll probably have around in between 75 to 100 young ladies.
With age group?
This is high school, so 9th through 12th, those years. But they'll come in, showcase in front of our scouts and in front of college coaches to receive opportunities for All-American bids.
And you mentioned the college coaches. How have the college coaches received you guys? Because number one, you being a former coach, you already know you get them calls, you get them emails, you get those texts, and just with the busy life of a coach, you and I both have coached at the collegiate level. A lot of times you don't ignore them on purpose, but sometimes you have to ignore them because you have to deal with what's going on in front of you right now, be it the coaching, be it the recruiting. So how have the college coaches receive what you guys are doing and offer, their opinion, their feedback, their support to you guys?
Well, once you see the product that's on the field, you don't have to worry about the coaches, because as a coach mindset, you're gonna flock to anybody that helps make your job a little bit easier. So that's what we're here to do, really cater to these colleges, these kids, and get them in position to be seen by these college coaches. So no, they've been very receptive. They're appreciative. It's always gratitude when we see them. And it's just continuing to grow. So we talk to them day in, day out. We tell a kid all the time, hey, we can
this could be your opportunity right here. This could change your life right here. We know, we have a broad network of college coaches and major league scouts. So make sure you're on your best game that day.
Now, those players, both male and female, who've gone on from your program into college, what feedback have you gotten from them as far as how your programs, both on the softball and the baseball side, have helped them out? And you haven't quite been around long enough to have some of them graduate yet,
sure.
But how do you expect them to, after they move on to their professional careers? And I don't mean professional baseball, professional softball, I mean professional now.
Absolutely.
How do you expect them to be able to help you guys continue to grow?
I think the biggest thing has been the reception that those college kids have been given. They thought we were going to get them into college and just leave them. But one thing Minority Prospect does is no matter the level you're at, where you are in your life, we stay connected with you. So they've been very appreciative of that. But what we're starting to see is the retention. So we've had kids come through our program, playing our all-star events, but also come back and work for us. So that's the big thing. We want to retain these kids and give them career opportunities for minority prospects, but also put them around corporations that can help their careers as well. So it's been pretty good, man, on the feedback. So we're going to keep it going.
Absolutely. But Reggie, we appreciate you joining us, man. Thank you for
guys,
everything.
Man. Appreciate y'all.
Absolutely.
And shout out to CJ and Kelly, man. Beautiful event, and I look forward to next year.
One last thing before you go. T.U.
You know. Now, you know we got to get that in, huh? Appreciate you guys.
As they getting that Tuskegee love. Listen, man. I got to get down there. I got to get to. I've been, but I haven't been in with the inner workings of the school, man. Listen, and I'm not gonna get to call a football game down there this year. Which,
bro, don't go to call. Just go.
I may.
Just go, man. Do you have the nerve? Listen, on one of the podcasts I was on, somebody had the nerve to talk about the atmosphere at Tuskegee, talk about the tool shed. I'm like, bro, that shed is legendary.
I have our two honorees
Truly.
right here on the field.
And we've got a special presentation going on.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's make some noise for Christian Foreman. Come on. And I also have right here with me, Demetrius Smith. Give it up for Demetrius Smith. Come on. Now, both of these fine folks are community outreach specialists with the Bureau of Investigation, better known as our FBI. Now, I got a quick question for you both. How does it feel to be recognized by L.E.A.D Center for Youth as a Courage Award honoree?
Oh my gosh, this is so special. Thank you guys so much. We love working with the L.E.A.D Center. So thank you again. This is such an honor.
Awesome. And you, Demetrius? So I would say that this is
all right. As we get back to the broadcast, Jamie. I don't even. Oh, I was talking about somebody want to talk about my old school. Man, talk about that shit, man. We gonna have to get you down there.
I do, because even the game that I was supposed to broadcast, they did it off site.
Did it remote.
Yeah, did it remote, man, and I was so disappointed. There's a couple of places, because been to the school but just have not been to a game there.
Yeah.
I got to get to brag too. You know, now as an A&T grad, you know.
Man, do you want to tell you about the last time A&T hit Bragg?
I'm not gonna talk about that.
The game that was the Sunday game.
Listen, that Ryan, you know, that not Ryan Stanley. What was it? Ryan Stanley that came in?
No.
It was McCray.
Yeah, Rashad McCray.
Yeah, they actually. Yeah. But yeah, they actually came in and threw that touchdown pass. So yeah. But as we got a ball in, Des Stiegel back up to bat. Listen, we've called his name a lot in this particular ball game, but he's one of the folks that Reggie referred to earlier. As we got a bobble ball at third for an error, and Des will get to first safely. But he is, when you're talking about a product of L.E.A.D and product of this city, he's Atlanta through and through. Yeah, and played his baseball at Grambling. So he is definitely HBCU product who has given his all to his school, and that league is giving back. So we got a pitch in for strike one. But he's one of those folks that, you know, is L.E.A.D in Atlanta through and through. This ball inside and high. But when you're talking about someone that bleeds baseball, is one of those folks that CJ and Kelly wanted to influence to give back to the city and give back to humanity in general. He is one of those folks. So you're glad to see him give back in this game again. The 10th annual Safe at Home game here from Rush Chandler Stadium is ball in, swung and missed. But AD, when you're talking about, you're a baseball man. Being from St. Louis, you have no choice. Being from St. Louis, you have no choice but to be a baseball guy.
I'm a Cardinals fan and a Bud man.
And listen, take it for what you will. But when you're talking about someone that loves the game, you can appreciate what's going on here. There's the ball in for the strikeout. Looks like first out of the inning, but safe is, actually we're at the bottom of the third, where the home team is now hitting and kind of slowed down after those first 2 innings. Safe getting back into the ball game, swung on and missed for strike one. But when you're talking about a game of this magnitude, it's for a good cause, but you can see some competition within it as well. But when you're talking about ball popped up towards third,
good
ball
play.
Caught for the out and doubled him up at first. And that will be the double play. Is that the third out of the inning?
Yes,
it is. So we will take a break here from Rush Chandler Stadium. No runs that time for the home team. We'll take a break here on MVP TV.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
Are you hungry for authentic Caribbean food? Like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp, tofu, and rasta pasta? Well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m. Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
So we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta. For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992 or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com. For instant coupons, text MANGOS to 313131.
Tell your mama hungry, papa hungry, brother hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, authentic Caribbean cuisines.
Open up the door, tell your mama hungry.
Okay, Swaggy and Sassy, what was it that you wanted to show me?
Grandpa, you said the swaggy chain harnessed the power and spirit of the Negro Leagues, waiting for someone with the passion and determination to unlock it. Something amazing just happened. I think I activated the power. Yes, you should have seen him throw the ball like the legend Satchel.
And we are back here from Rush Chandler Stadium, McNeese Ballpark, for the Safe at Home game, the 10th annual Safe at Home game presented by L.E.A.D. As Ryan Addison is up to bat. Top of the fourth inning. The home team, the literal home team, still up 3-1. Pitches in. Beautiful day for baseball. As you can see the backdrop of the city of Atlanta right here in downtown. Swung on and missed for strike two. But again, home team being up had a little wrinkle at the beginning of the game. They decided to mix the teams up. So it's not just the ball hit, dribbling the second, gets it over the first for the out by Addison and first out of the inning. But again, the mixture of the teams was a surprise to the players, as law enforcement and firefighters were actually mixed with the ambassadors. So now you have just teams of everybody here. Now, not sure, just based on everybody and how they're looking, not sure that it took off any of the competition or the competitive nature of the game. But
we got a three-run game. Might be a little more competitive if we didn't have all those E's up there for that one team, though.
I tell you what, when you're talking about, who's playing, you talk about, a little older law enforcement and, not to say they still don't have the wheels, but nonetheless, you're talking about folks that don't play baseball every day. So, you got a few errors getting stretched out, but I think you'll see a good, clean ball game. Ball in 4, strike 1. But again, when you're talking about just them playing in general, the old guys playing with the young fellas, and I think, I like the format so far as ball in 4, strike 2.
Yeah, the one thing the old guys require a little bit more than the young guys.
What's that?
Ice after the game. Ice after the game.
Say they're going to have the cold tub is available.
Cold tub, man. 7-Eleven around the corner going to be out of ice by the time this game over with.
It will, but look, I'm looking at some youth going by, man, and talked about just the formation of this league. L.E.A.D has now gotten down to the elementary schools, and I think the impact of that is great. When you're talking about education and us being educators, the ball hit sharply down the field line and foul ball.
That pitch was actually a ball.
Yeah, got on the outside and drove it that way.
Yeah, that ball was about at his eye level, and he hit that ball, took it the other way. But that's what you call a two-strike approach.
definitely protecting the plate. But, yeah, when you're talking about stretching down to the elementary schools, I think pitches in for strike 3 around the horn. Yeah.
I might have been outside, but.
Look, close enough, sir, in a self-officiated game.
Look, if you swung at that first pitch and fouled that one off, you got to swing at this.
Great call. But, I mean, the league stretching down to the elementary schools, I think the earlier you catch our youth from getting into things that would not be good for them, I think the better. So, having those leagues, having the elementary leagues, I think that is called a strike. We'll see what they have decided, and it is for strike 1. 2 outs here at the bottom of the 4th, actually top of the 4th. Judging by the scoreboard, pitch in for ball 1.
So, okay, the scoreboard was a little bit behind. I thought it was bottom 3. But it is what it is, man.
It is, but, when you're talking about just the way the format, it looks like ball high. But just the format of what the organization is, the earlier we can get to our youth, the better.
Definitely. Not only the earlier you get to the youth, but the earlier you get to mamas and daddies.
Absolutely.
And let's be real, Jamie. I spent plenty of my own gas going picking up these kids.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. It might be it's coming our way.
That time I was going to move, son.
We always got that. See, the first ball came towards the booth on the fly.
It did.
That one came off the hop, and it hit just outside of the booth. It hit the lip of the booth.
Mm-hmm. Now tell me something, AD. Off the cuff question. What's the worst stadium incident that you've ever witnessed when it came to baseball?
I could give you a personal incident.
That ended up being okay. Not anything that,
I'm going to give you a personal one. I used to umpire, and that's taken for strike 3. We'll get into it after we get back to this break. I'm going to tell you about what happened to me when I was umpiring high school girls softball.
Okay, we'll be back here from Rush Chandler Stadium, here on MBP TV.
Okay, Swaggy and Sassy, what was it that you wanted to show me?
Grandpa, you said the swaggy chain harnessed the power and spirit of the Negro Leagues, waiting for someone with the passion and determination to unlock it. Something amazing just happened. I think I activated the power.
Yes, you should have seen him throw the ball like the legend Satchel Paige.
That's remarkable, Swaggy. You have the opportunity to carry on the legacy of thousands of talented players.
Whoa, I had no idea there were so many.
The Negro Leagues were filled with talent and resilience. It wasn't until recently that over 300 of those players were acknowledged in the Baseball Hall of Fame. There was Willie Brown, known for hitting the home runs. Ben Taylor, known as the best first baseman in the game. And there's Oscar Charleston, fearless, and can steal a base with ease.
Wow, that was amazing, Swaggy.
Just like that, Swaggy. You're embodying the spirit of these legendary players.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
This is Brian Fulford. 80.
And I'm right there. Noonan, but who's not here? Gainesville, Noonan, and Rome. Allie Looker is not here. But just a few words before we get on with this next interview.
Well, it's just such an honor to be recognized, and we appreciate all the work that you're doing to make our community and our state so much better. So thank you for letting us be a very, very small part of it.
Thank you very much for bringing initiative and exposing our community to what you guys do. It's great work, and I wish you many years of great success.
Awesome, and here is also Dahlia Brown and Family Leadership, Georgia, class of 2023. Best class ever. All right, let's play ball.
As we had another between inning presentation there. Now, Jamie,
yes.
Before we went to the break, you was asking me about some of the worst incidents that I've had. I've been a part of 2 bad incidents.
Okay.
High school girls softball, I was the base umpire. And you know how the girls throwing it around between the innings, right? Getting loose. So the outfielder is throwing the ball in to the dugout.
Team in the bottom of the 4th inning, designated hitter Brandon Shaw.
As an umpire, I'm not paying attention that the ball is coming in from the dugout and the ball gets away from the girl. Guess where it lands? In the back of my noggin.
Listen,
bro.
man. Listen.
Knocked me clean off my feet, and I was out for a second or two.
Listen up. I think they may need to hurry up and get them off the field. I'm just looking at something happen, potentially.
Yeah, there's nobody down there.
Nobody.
We need the bullpen catcher right now.
We do.
Yeah.
But
and then the other incident, softball once again. I think softball has got to be more than baseball. And we was in the complex doing a high school tournament, and a foul ball from one field flew onto our field, and I'm out there at second base. And the ball, if I don't stick my hand up to try to catch the ball hits the girl in the head who's playing second base. Problem is, the ball broke my finger because I didn't catch it clean.
Wow.
So
listen, officiating is wonderful in theory. But there are instances where that happens, man, and it's, you just out there trying to make some money. You might be doing it for fun. But
to help out and all that stuff. I'm gonna give you the third one, and this would actually cost me even more money. Yeah, high school baseball behind the plate, and this kid was probably throwing about 90 in high school, at least high 80. Foul ball, misses the catcher, hits me square in the chest, right above the heart. I went out and bought a new chest protector the next day, bro.
Said you gonna stop that day. Before I get on this field again.
With the extra arm, I had a little plate on there. But the other one was just a thick pad. No, I'm about the one with the plate on it, just for baseball.
It absolutely is. We have a full count. Bottom of the 4th. Team home. Yeah, it does. Team home still up 3-1, but.
True story. I umpired the Rasmussen's boys when they was playing for Russell County in Alabama.
Is that right?
Yes. Coached against them too. I'd much rather umpire than coach against them. They was up on us 28-0 after the first inning. That team.
It's ugly as the first pitch gets away from the catcher, so the runner advances to second. Still no outs here in the bottom of the 4th Safe at Home game. 10th annual Safe at Home game presented by L.E.A.D. Here from Georgia Tech. Beautiful day for baseball. See a couple of clouds, but nothing threatening, although threatened some of the football games in the local area last night. And we got that in. Tis the season, man.
Week 0 of football.
Yes.
Week 0 has become week 1.
It has.
Forget the 0 part. You know what I like about Georgia this year because of the extra week that we have in the calendar is allowed for these teams to actually have 2 byes in football.
It has.
You know, and I think that's actually kind of great. It won't happen every year, but these years where you can do it, let these kids get the extra bye. And everybody's taking that bye during fall break. It was one of their byes.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what else I like about the state of Georgia, just the Southeast in general? We out here playing a baseball game right now, and you can pretty much do that year-round here as ball gets away from the catcher. Runner advances to third, so.
Curveball didn't curve.
No, it didn't. Stayed outside. But we got a southpaw up there on the mound, but yeah, when you're talking about
at least almost 11 months a year in this part, and the further south you can go, you can get it to that Christmas time.
Absolutely, and we talked to Reggie earlier about the importance of the showcases that they do to, expose as we get ball 4 and now we got runners at first and third, but the importance of the exposure to baseball. For people that really don't get it. And I'm going to speak a little more to that because we got a lot of people that work the area that are here today. And near these areas when you're talking about the travel ball, as we got the pickoff play, tried to go to second, but advanced a little too quick, didn't get the pickoff play over the first quick enough.
Forget the throw over the first, man. I got to give him a grade on that move.
Oh, yeah.
That move was a D+ at best.
So it needed some WD-40.
Stop. Hey, as a young kid, go facts.
But when you're talking about this area, yes, you're dealing with the city of Atlanta. L.E.A.D also branches out, and Kelly told a story earlier about their expansion to other places around the Atlanta metro area. But along with that, man, there's some expensive baseball being played around the area. You talk about East Cobb, and you're talking about other areas that you're talking about leagues that start off paying $2,000 just to get in it. I'm talking about as an individual player. Yes, when it deals with everything, and for them to be able to do and to function this league really just on, number one, labor of love. It does cost a lot of money, too, as well. But the way they get it and just donations and corporations, coming in and giving their time and resources, they're able to pull this off. But, pricing people out of the game of baseball is a thing. And so when you're looking at just how long is the ball hit down right field line. But when you're talking about being priced out of this league, this is so important. L.E.A.D is so important for just being able to continue the legacy of baseball within the city youth.
Yeah, I mean, it is. And like I say, I understand when it comes to these costs and everything. And if you notice, a lot of Parks and Rec departments, YMCA.
Ball dribbled. Hold him up. Oh, play at the plate. We'll see. Ball is over the catcher's head, and team home gets another run. They may get 2, and they will. So add a couple of more to their total, and now up 5-1.
As we had everybody who was coming out of the dugout, and everybody had to dance out the way of the baseball coming off of the backstop.
Because you definitely don't want to see anybody get hurt.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Looks like we are going to have a pitching change.
We are going to have a pitching change for Team Safe, so we'll get that picture in a second. But, again, talk about the pricing out of the actual sport, to be honest with you.
And that's the one thing that scares the parents away, as I'm going to be honest with you, Jamie. If I wasn't Parks and Rec director, I don't know if I could have afforded for my children to participate in some of the sports with, because I saw the bills. The one thing people don't think about is the insurance costs.
Yeah.
They don't think about the tournament costs, if your team is playing in some type of tournament. You know, just the different things or the league costs because you don't have enough kids in your community to have a closed league, so you have to go in and either pay entry fee to somebody else's league, or you got to have all that gas money to travel back and forth to somebody else's league. And then, Jamie, everybody don't live in the metro like you do.
No.
You know, there are plenty of country kids, as y'all like to call them, rural kids, deep suburban kids, mid-sized city kids who want to play, but, finding and then putting a competitive team together. If there's a line between we doing this for fun and we doing this for the competitive team.
Absolutely. And I think, everybody wants to win, and I think everyone, which makes, I got to go back to a point Reggie kind of said earlier, so prevalent. Collegiate sports and trying to get kids into the opportunity to be able to have their education paid for. At least
third base.
We are, and it looks like he will be out. Uh-oh.
Slapped him on the leg.
Slapped him on the leg, but it looked like came up a little lame. I hope he's all right. Walking a little gingerly on it. This is not the time as we get the first out of the inning. Once again, bottom of the fourth, team home, up to bat, leading 5-1 over team safe. But, yeah, when you're talking about just what the cost of everything is, is astronomical. And again, it just gives credence to how much an organization like L.E.A.D does or is. But again, in the push to education and being able to pay for it, in baseball a lot of times partially, but still any money goes that, that is there is for a good cause.
Now, you talk about on the college level. Now, that's filed. Is that back here towards us?
You'll see in a second.
That was above us. Finally, it did. The roof did its job and absorbed the blow.
It did.
But now you got two big things. Obviously, you've got NIL. Everybody wants an NIL. But now there may be more opportunities as the NC2A has allowed for more scholarships in both baseball and softball in the future. Softball went from 13 to 25, and baseball went from 11.7 to, is it 33 or 38? 33, I believe. So there are definitely more opportunities. Now, here's the fun part, all y'all, especially those supporters of HBCU baseball program. Just because they say we can give them out, still got a way to fund them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So that's going to be even more important. Okay, so what you don't have a kid that's playing baseball anymore? So what you don't have a kid that's playing softball anymore? That don't mean you can't give to some organization or your, how they say, get to your alma mater, Jamie.
Oh, yeah.
Give and then give to the university close to where
Ball
that's
foul
coming
back.
back
That might
us.
be. It stays in the stands. Like I said, got a lot of little kids here, running around for baseball, so that's always a good thing.
Get to your alma mater. Give to the school close to where you live at now, because most of us do not live close to where our alma mater is.
That's true.
And then, if you still got some money left over and you want to give again, you can get a Tuskegee fan business in my schools.
But yeah, I mean, it's a serious thing. I think we're in transition when it comes to the NCAA and just collegiate athletics in general about how they'll decide to fund it. We had a ball, looks like a base hit up the middle. Good piece of hitting right there. Found a hole and in safely with 2 outs. But yeah, when you're talking about funding in general, again, that's why, it all kind of leads back to the same purpose. Wherever you can get wherever you have these organizations really just trying to get, kids in the right place possible, it's always a good thing, whether it be collegiately, whether it be professionally, as MVP tries to, as a ball, wild pitch there, and runner advances to second. But just these organizations and what their purposes are. Definitely. It's always a good thing.
And there are plenty of other organizations out there. Boys and Girls Club, YMCAs, local parks and rec. You got a local high school or middle school program that I guarantee you, if you go bring them a dozen baseballs, they're going to be happy. Bro.
Absolutely. Anything that you can do. I'm going to talk about LEAD for a second. Go to their website, LEAD2, and that's the number 2legacy.org. And just go in and see what their mission is, see the development of the organization, and see how you can give back. That's always a good thing.
I'm pretty sure they take cash out. Runner goes.
Pass ball. Catcher gets it.
And the batter did not realize he had 2 strikes.
Oh, so swung on that third strike.
Third strike, and that's the third out. So, what we gonna take a break, or we gonna stay here? All right, we gonna take a break. 1, 4, and 5 for Team Save. 5, 6, and 0 for Team Home. We'll be right back here on MVP.
You and I are co-hosts of the BCSN Sports Wrap. We talk about all things related to HBCU athletics. From the games, teams, coaches, and fan interest stories, we cover it all. You can find our shows on Facebook at BCSN Sports Wrap, YouTube at MyJBN Online, and everywhere you listen to podcasts like Anchor, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. You can also find the show on the Jericho Broadcast Network's app. Make sure to download. We look forward to you joining the conversation and being a part of the show.
As technology continues to bring changes to the world of education, it's time we also reimagine teacher professional development. Gone are the days of one-size-fits-all learning that can only be accessed at a specific time and place. The Stride PD Center is an on-demand library of mobile-friendly courses that allow educators to learn anytime and anywhere. Our dynamic courses provide bite-sized learning and help educators advance their knowledge while also gaining professional development hours. The best professional development plans are those that include a level of flexibility and choice for educators. Whether you're a teacher, school, or district, visit us today to take charge of your learning.
And we are back here on MVP TV. I'm Jamie Walker and joined by Miss Jackie Labat.
Yes.
How do you do?
I'm great. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Now
hot Atlanta afternoon.
Absolutely. Now, when you hear that last name, of course, you know who it is.
You do.
Wife of Sheriff Labat.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. Now, talk about the importance of this game. First of all, let's talk about the atmosphere for a second.
Yes. It's great. This is fantastic. So the first Safe at Home game that I attended, and I think Patrick was with me, was over at Carver, the new Carver schools, and it was great, very competitive. I think this is the first year that they mix the ambassadors and the law enforcement together on each team. I think the ambassadors handily took care of our first responders in years past, but it's great. It's a good energy, a good vibe, good people. I love to see people come out and turn out just to watch the game.
Very much so. I'm loving the atmosphere as well. Now, talk about the importance of what this game represents, because you're talking about inner city kids here in Atlanta. You're also talking about law enforcement and first responders, and when you mix that up, sometimes sometimes the message is lost. And, but they're both important factions. Talk about what this game represents.
So this game represents, it's really CJ and Kelly's vision coming to fruition, just in terms of how they want to serve our youth and how they want to expose the youth, because life is about exposure. And so sometimes just depends on your childhood, your upbringing, and your surroundings. You may not have the opportunity to just be one-on-one as a person, as a human being, with a law enforcement officer or a first responder. And so getting them kind of with the uniforms off, as in, law enforcement uniforms, in a casual setting where they just see each other as people, get to know each other, get to mentor. Something that Patrick started over at the Fulton County Sheriff's Office is Think Twice, Save a Life, which is more than just a slogan. We've started a foundation, and so it's in line with what Kelly and CJ want to do, which is encouraging the youth to reach out to law enforcement and be mentored by law enforcement to think before you make life-changing decisions. And I think Kelly and CJ do such a great job with their program in terms of the structure, in terms of admitting them in terms of giving them chances when they mess up, and in terms of having limits to those chances. Not that they can't bounce back from it, but it's a very structured program with a lot of reward on the end.
Absolutely. Now, would the first responders, how excited are they to actually play in this game?
Oh, I think they're pretty excited. I think there's a lot of Bengay the night before and the day after.
Zorbeen Jr.
Zorbeen Jr. But I think they're excited. I think it's, the competitive spirit is there. And I think that the camaraderie and being able to, talk a little junk in a friendly but competitive way, it's just it's a good-natured game.
Most definitely. Now, just the interaction, because the surprise in them being mixed up with this game this year.
That surprised me.
I absolutely think it's phenomenal because I think even deeper than you have in the game in the competitive nature, playing with each other is important. It's just as important.
Absolutely. So even though in years past they were out here and they were, interacting with law enforcement, to have that person be your teammate and, there's no I in team and that sort of thing. So to have them come together and rally together and sit in the dugouts and cheer each other on, get to know each other in a more intimate, personal way, I think it does blend the two together just one more notch above where it has been. It's just an evolutionary process, and I just can't wait for years to come. It just grows and gets better every year. It's such a wonderful organization to support, and look who's up
look
to bat.
There. Pat LeBay, we'll observe just for a second.
All right, let's see what he's going to do.
I'll tell you what, how important is the game, or how just how much fun is he having?
He's having a ball. Patrick coached both of our boys in Little League and over at Sandtown Youth Sports Organization. So Anthony and PJ both played T-ball up through probably elementary school. Then they got into some other sports, but he loved it. He loved every minute of it, took it very, very seriously. And he grew up as a young boy in Atlanta.
First pitch outside, runner still going. Throw to second, but in on time for the stolen base.
He was mentored through youth sports, too, so he's having a ball.
Good deal.
He's going to be very sore lately.
Yes.
Later. And he's going to complain about that sciatic and all those things, but he's having the time of his life.
Absolutely. Now, you talked about Sheriff Labat's interest in just bridging the gap between inner city youth and just in Fulton County in general.
Yes.
What's the next extension for that? You talked about a new program, but how important is that relationship and that development?
It's huge because I don't know if a lot of people know, when you get your youthful offenders over at Rice Street, that's age 17 and up. So a lot of what he is focusing on and we are focusing on with the Think Twice, Save a Life, it's more than a slogan. It's a program where we really want to reach those youth, elementary, middle school, high school, before they hit Rice Street, hopefully keeping them out of Rice Street. And so that interaction, the mentoring, being able to have a mentor who's in law enforcement who, if you're in a sticky situation, you can pick up the phone and send a text and say, hey, I'm over here in this parking lot. They're getting ready to get crazy. I need a ride. I need an Uber. Just whatever it is, because sometimes parents and family, you just can't, the kids don't always turn to. But to have that firsthand interaction, that's what I love about Patrick and Mayor Dickens and so much of the leadership across the city of Atlanta. They're so accessible to our kids. And I think working with the kids hands-on, providing exposure, mentorship, and showing them that you care and providing them opportunity is just what can make all the difference.
All right. Last question with First Lady Jackie Labat.
Yes.
Here on MVP TV, I'm Jamie Walker. Who's going to win this game? Who's going to finish? Who's going to finish the drill today?
Who's going to finish the drill? Well, looking at the score, looking at the innings, looks like the team red has a leg up. So I'm gonna cheer my husband on. Let's go Team Gray.
Looks like they just scored. Well, thank you for joining us here.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, and just tell us any initiatives that are coming up?
Absolutely. You know, I am an ardent supporter of LEAD, and I'm on their advisory council. We have a lot of programming coming up that CJ and Kelly want me to help co-pilot and lead with them. So there'll be more to come. I'm sure these stands will be full in years to come. We'll do our part to make that happen. Ever need anything from us, reach out to Team Labat.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you. MVP TV still score 5-2 at this point. And again, stepping right up. Someone that needs no introduction. But it's blazing out there.
I feel y'all got the air going on. That's where I should have been the whole time.
Miss Kelly Stewart of LEAD, founder of LEAD. It's been a long time.
It's been a long time.
It has.
Coach Jamie. Coach Jamie. See, I know y'all. I know you how other folks don't know you.
Listen.
Back in the day.
We've been chopping it up and talking about this for a while. Let me give y'all kudos and an applause for what you all have been able to do over not just these 10 years of this game alone, but just the phenomenal program. I got to have you talk about LEAD, just in general, you know, from its beginnings.
Yeah. So a lot of folks, you know, if you look at the Secretary of State's office on paper, we started in 2007, but really we started April 10th, 1976 when CJ was born here in the Bankhead community in Atlanta. And a lot of folks say black kids use baseball to get out of the hood. I think the proper way to put that is we use baseball and sports to get through the hood, because when you can be at somebody's practice, you can be at somebody's game, you know, you got to make sure you get your homework so you stay eligible. That tends to keep you out of trouble. So LEAD is really this long, beautiful love letter that CJ has been writing to black boys and black youth in general in this community since the day he picked up a baseball and fell in love with the game.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, you know, I talked about how I coached at Harper Archer. It was middle school then.
That's right. That's right.
And just a phenomenal program.
Shout out to Alana Allen.
Yes, got to shout her out because that's who put me in that position, and it was phenomenal. But, you know, a quick story. You know, CJ wants you to do everything with first class.
Absolutely.
Like you're going to wear the uniform right.
Yes,
you're going to wear the hat right.
Your cleats gonna be clean.
And he had to correct me one time because I have a tendency to wear it sideways whenever I wear it. And he was like, hey, I'm about to play a game. Straighten that up for me. As a coach.
Yeah.
That is the type of guy he is when it comes to what he presents out here.
Yeah.
But along with that, and I told this story to the crew beforehand, you don't step outside your blackness either.
Period. Point blank.
And I think that is one of the key things that goes on with this organization, because there are a lot of mixtures of people that you talk to that do not look like you. However, you don't step outside of who you are.
Yeah, so CJ has coined this term called being openly black. And it's just being at peace with your blackness, not trying to change who you are in order to fit what we as African Americans have been taught to assimilate as close to whiteness as we can, so that we are acceptable and palatable to society. And, you know, and listen, in all fairness, that's how our ancestors and elders were told that you can get ahead and you can get by. But what really happens is you are killing yourself a little bit every day when you deny who you really are as a black American, because we have a very distinct and beautiful story with all the tragedy.
Yes.
It's still a beautiful story of how we've overcome and continue to overcome even still during this day. And baseball is a part of that overcoming. At a time when we were told we didn't belong in the sport, what did our leaders do? They created their own league. And it was inclusive of black women.
Absolutely.
Like the legendary Effa Manley, who's one of my mentors from the past. And so making sure that our youth get that gift of knowing that they can be black everywhere they go.
Yes.
Early. CJ and I didn't get that gift until our 30s.
because we had a very, I think it was a transformative experience in Leadership Atlanta that CJ went through. And he had a race day encounter at one of their programs, and it really just opened his eyes. And he said, you know, as long as I live, I'm not going to allow youth who come into contact with me to wait until they're about 40 years old before they can be fully black.
That's right.
And so to be in the game of baseball, so you had that story with him before about the hat.
Uh-huh.
So he might let you rack it to the side a little bit now. However, what he says is, if you're going to have that swag, your play got to back it up.
That's right.
So I ain't got no problem with the swag, but if your play ain't matching up, then we got to get that math to match.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Now I've seen some different things develop within it, you know, primarily through social media because, you know, I live where I live and all the things. But still an ardent supporter of the organization. I'm looking at the kids. Talk about you all spreading to the youth when going down to the elementary kids.
Let me tell you something. So one of our babies over at Mays High School was killed last year. Mayor Dickens called an emergency meeting between youth leaders in the city. And in that meeting, Chief Shearbaum, who's the APD police chief, said basically, we have a lot of programs for middle school youth. We have a lot of programs for high school youth. But me and my team are increasingly pulling weapons out of the hands of 7 and 8-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
So we need something for the elementary school. So I went to my board and I was like, look, you know that cute little strategic plan we put together that said we was going to do thus and so? The community needs us to be something else. And so we restructured our priorities and started the Rookie League.
Okay.
It's 3rd through 5th grade. And our shout out to Mr. Rendell Jackson and Atlanta Public Schools, who is there to entertain every innovative idea that we bring his way.
You know, give Rendell one of the few cues I like.
Let me tell you. And so we were like, we got this idea. We want to do this at 3rd grade. Shout out to our partner schools who got into this journey with us: Usher Collier, Scott Elementary, M. Agnes Jones, and Hollis Innovation Academy. And we started a league. We go to their schools during the first semester to do some introductory work because it's a lot of their first times playing organized baseball. And then from the first semester, right. So from the first semester, you know, we choose the rookies who have shown the dedication in school through their grades, attendance, and behavior, but who've also been coming to our training classes at school and have shown improvement. So you got to earn a jersey.
Beautiful.
And so in the spring, they get to put on for their teams. And let me tell you something. When we first started with the rookies, we know, you know, because we would come to school and do a little bit of our core value training. We was like, do we have a catcher? Do we have a pitcher?
Right.
But let me tell you what happens when these babies put on a uniform and they become a part of a team. When they hit that field for the first game, they came out Deion Sanders ready.
Wow.
They were ready because you know what it means intrinsically in your heart to be a part of a team. When you see others who are wearing the same jersey as you're wearing, and it just does something to your spirit. First game we had, score was like 15-14. Like them babies was putting the bat on the ball.
I love it.
And they were hyped up. So we are excited about our rookies, excited about our junior ambassadors, but we have gone back to an all-metro approach for our high school ambassador team.
Okay.
And we got a squad. So when we first started, we were all metro. You know, it didn't just have to be all APS. And now we're going back to that approach at the high school team. So our rookies are being trained and prepared to be a part of this all-metro, which will be a nationally ranked team. So we're excited about that. We got some dudes. We got some dudes. Shout out to MVP Reggie and Alex for helping us assemble such an amazing team. Shout out to Melanie Nunnally. She is like Effa Manley in these streets. Melanie, I don't know where you're at. She probably at USA Baseball with one of our lead ambassadors, Ezra Gandy, who is playing at USA Baseball this week. But, you know, it's just really been an outpouring of the community as we built and rebuilt our organization, and we just feel the love.
Absolutely. Now talk about, we're gonna wind it up because you warm, gotta get you some water and all the things. I know you're making the rounds. The 10th annual Safe at Home game. How has this game changed and switched and done its thing and been able to be around for 10 years?
So it really shows how much the community sees this as now it's an Atlanta tradition. I see right now APS Police Chief out here, Chief Applin,
our leaders from APD. Now the FBI is involved in the game. We got Dr. Johnson, who is our new super, Sheriff Labat, and Jackie, who was just on. I mean, it is really a community event that the community has embraced. Shout out to our folks here at Georgia Tech, our family at Georgia Tech, who continue to show up for us every year and open up their beautiful facilities, to us. Thank you so much to Jermaine and his crew here at Georgia Tech. 10th year this year was special for us because when me and CJ got married and he was playing minor league baseball for the Cubs, we ain't had like two nickels to rub together, so right. I couldn't come and watch him play. So I've never seen him play professional ball before. And so to see him play in this game and suit up and know the work that he's been doing behind the scenes to get in shape for the Peachtree Road race and then for this event has been really inspiring to me, to our daughters, Mackenzie and McKenna, to see their daddy suit up and play was awesome. I mean, just this whole game of baseball that, pierced my husband's heart when he was a kid, that took him literally from Bankhead to Wrigley Field to play minor leagues for the Cubs. I mean, and to have a event that is seen as a community event that Atlanta embraces. Shout out to our mayor, Mayor Dickens, who's been down with us since he was Councilman Dickens. Like, this is truly a family affair out here today.
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure.
A pleasure always. Always good to see you, Coach. Always good to see you.
Thank you so much.
And thank you so much for all you do in the community. I don't think people really understand the magnitude of your presence. You might not be in front of the camera all the time, but you're behind the scenes making sure that our voices are amplified, that our events are being seen and seen with class and seen with professionalism. So thank you so much for all that you do.
Thank you, and I hope to be working some more with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you. Kelly Stewart here.
Have some great interviews going on. Once again, I'm your favorite host of MC, Ronell Blackman. Bob Rathman is in the booth with me as well as we continue to celebrate all of these, not only the law enforcement, but also our lead ambassadors.
All right, we'll take a break here from Rush Chandler Stadium, McNeese Ballpark, here on MPB TV.
Baseball game.
Okay, Swaggy and Sassy, what was it that you wanted to show me?
Grandpa, you said the Swaggy chain harnessed the power and spirit of the Negro Leagues, waiting for someone with the passion and determination to unlock it. Something amazing just happened. I think I activated the power.
Yes, you should have seen him throw the ball like the legend Satchel Paige.
That's remarkable, Swaggy. You have the opportunity to carry on the legacy of thousands of talented players.
Whoa, I had no idea there were so many.
The Negro Leagues were filled with talent and resilience. It wasn't until recently that over 300 of those players were acknowledged in the Baseball Hall of Fame. There was Willie Brown, known for hitting the home runs. Ben Taylor, known as the best first baseman in the game. And there's Oscar Charleston, fearless, and can steal a base with ease.
Wow, that was amazing, Swaggy.
Just like that, Swaggy. You're embodying the spirit of these legendary players.
And welcome back to Georgia Tech, McNeese Baseball Park here at Rush Chandler Stadium, here on MBP TV. I'm Jamie Walker, and we are here. We got a special guest. Tell him your name.
Hey, Tamiko Cameron.
All right, Tamiko. Now, Tamiko, tell us what you do when it comes to league. You talk about this is your first year within the organization. Tell them what you do.
I come here, try my best. And when I come here, I try to put my best self out there.
Your best self.
Coach Kelly, Coach CJ, and everybody here in L.E.A.D. and I just try my best.
All right. Now, what position do you play?
I play third and sometimes outfield.
Sometimes outfield. Yeah. Okay. What do you like best out of both of those?
Third.
Third. Why? What is it about third?
it's just like it's just the intensity, the ball, how it comes at you fast, and the intensity of being there.
There we go. I love the language. Now talk about that intensity. Is the game of baseball intense just in general?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It's to the hitting, to the pitching, to the ball coming at you at 80 miles per hour, all that. I love it.
Oh, okay, AD.
Yeah, I was going to say we got one out there on the board, swinging a miss there for strike 3. Just want to make sure we do got a baseball game going on, so I just need to make sure I tell them what's going on out there while you guys do your interview.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now you talked about that intensity. Joining an organization like L.E.A.D, I know you have some big shoes to fill, but in the 8th grade, how does an organization like L.E.A.D make you feel as far as joining?
It made me feel like I'm this big person, because it's like it's just you in this big spot, and they expect you to do these big things, and just being in the 8th grade, it's just a big thing for me.
All right, I'm gonna throw it over to AD Drew. He has a question for you.
All right, now I got to ask you this. Somebody who's done a lot for youth in the community that I used to live in. Why baseball, man? Everybody else playing football. Everybody else playing basketball. What drew you to this sport, where you outside for 2 hours, sun on top of your head, the grass, the pollen, but you decided to play? Why?
I love the looks of baseball, and I love everything about it. Like a sliding mitt, to batting gloves, to everything, and like I just love everything about baseball.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. So, for you at such a young age, what does having the opportunity to play with organizations like this mean to somebody in your age group? Because most kids your age, I got a granddaughter right there behind you. You know, I got to take the iPad from her. I got to take the cell phone from her. They don't want to go outside anymore like Jamie did when he was growing up, or like I did when I was growing up.
Yeah.
So why you want to play outdoor sport, man? Why?
It's just like I just love everything about it. Just the pop of the bat, everything.
There you go.
The pop of the glove, the ball hitting your glove, the baseball, the red lines on the baseball.
All right. Now you obviously, that was actually ball 3. Everybody out there who's watching us at home, we got another pitch. We got a 3-2 count. So you're in middle school, looking forward to going to high school. What do you think is going to be the biggest adjustment that you're going to have to make when you go from playing in middle school to get ready to play at the next level, which is going to be junior high or B team followed by high school ball?
The pitching speed and the size of the field, like making that throw from all the way from third to first is going to be a big thing. And that pitcher speed, trying to time it up and everything. So you're going to be a big change.
So you're on 70-foot bases right now, or you on the 490?
What? Yeah, Washington High School.
Yeah, they play regular.
They play 60-90. Mm-hmm. Okay. You know, sometimes middle schools they play 70 or 80, depending on where you play at. So, you know, so you can already make the throw then. Yes. You know, I got to ask you. How many of them, hosed over there like, gotcha. You thought you was going to get that, didn't you?
I mean, last season I only had like one play over there at third, but, I mean, I didn't get a lot of action, but, yeah.
That's all right. Nothing wrong with that.
So we talk about all this defense, man. Let's talk about that stick, man.
Yeah, you haven't talked about it.
I love the bat. I love it. I love the bat.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. The end of the game.
And we've got an official ball game. We're going to continue this interview for a minute. But, yeah, just talk about that stick for you, man. You know, you're a power hitter. You're a gap hitter. You know, what type of hit? If I was pitching to you, what do I have to worry about?
Me sending it to the outfield.
Sending it to the outfield?
That's all you got to worry about. I'm a power hitter.
You hit it to the gap or you hit it over the wall?
Over the wall.
He said he going yard. Now talk about you one day joining the Junior Ambassadors.
Well, once again, congratulations to our great team.
Well, yeah, to 9th grade, yeah, Coach CJ, he said I'm gonna be on that team. So yeah, that's basically I'm just have to come out there and be great out there on that field and show him that I can do this.
All right, good deal. Well, I tell you what, man, we're gonna Winded up one last question.
Go ahead, get your shout outs on.
Yeah, get your shout outs
so
on,
when you
everybody.
go back to YouTube and clip this, I want you to everybody who you need to shout out, go ahead and get it out right now.
Well, my Instagram, wxckz.jr. That's my Instagram. And my TikTok, same thing.
All right. When we talking to Miko, pleasure to meet you, sir. All right, have a good one.
All right, young fella.
All right, that is
to the right.
That is the end of the contest. Make sure you stick around for the trophy presentation. Again, the final 5-2. But I tell you what, the home team wins. But I tell you what, everyone's a winner when it comes to this ball game, the 10th annual Safe at Home game from Rush Chandler Stadium, McNeese Ballpark. And we are going to try to talk to the co-founder of this organization, CJ Stewart. If we can get him, he may be sore. You know, I saw that first hit. He tried it around the corner. I wasn't sure if he was going to complete the game. Then he got up for a second at bat, legged out a double. So I think he's all right. He's feeling well. So we hopefully will get a chance to talk to him in a few.
That's what you call the old man try, because I'm famous for it right now.
And I'm going to talk about Dez, too, because Dez is younger than him, yet CJ a little better than running. I'm going to talk trash to him. We're going to talk to Dez later about this whole thing. Like, Dez, you are not that old, sir.
Oh, my goodness, man. My goodness, Jay. It's great being here in Atlanta. This, for me, this is kind of a kickoff for a big week for me.
It is a huge week.
My Florida A&M Rattlers going to be in town later on this week, man.
I know you picnicking and all the things. The city always has something going on, man. It just puts on, and it's one of those things. But we're gonna throw it down to the trophy presentation. So hopefully you can hear it and look on.
Senior in 2007, the first African American to be promoted by the APD to Sergeant Lieutenant, Captain, Major, and Assistant Chief. Beginning this year, the winning team's name will be inscribed on the trophy to be displayed at L.E.A.D Center for you. Congrats to this year's champion. And I'm turning it over to the man, the myth, the legend himself, CJ Stewart.
Well, definitely excited. We are honored to have members of the Ball family here as well. So we're going to give y'all an opportunity to share some words if you would like, and then we'll let y'all present it to us so that we can hold it high in the air.
Most of y'all knew Daddy as the major. He was one of the first, but y'all were the next. Thank you. Congratulations once again. Way to go.
All right, we are back here. As you see the trophy presentation and you love what you got to see. Home team with the W against the Safe squad. And again, didn't take away the competitive nature of the game mixing up, but it did lead to some kind of great interactions with both the squads in general. I'll tell you, talking about the Safe at Home game and what it represents. Again, when you mix the squads up just a little bit more, it does add some different elements to it. Glad you could join us here on MVP TV. We hope to get to talk to co-founder CJ Stewart shortly. But, AD, when you're talking about a game like this and just talking about the game of baseball in general, man, you got to feel great about what just happened.
Yeah, you got to feel great. And speaking of feel, Jamie, there's going to be a bunch of people who are going to feel this game tomorrow and the next day and the next day. As, you know, baseball is one of those games where you can still go out and feel like you're 10, 12, 14 years old. And then the next day, you remember how old you really are.
Right.
You know, you can still get out and play pickup sandlot baseball. You can play pickup basketball.
Yes.
You know, a sport like football, you can't do this.
No, you cannot.
You can't do this. You know, so it's great to be able to get back and to mix it up. Yeah, the fastball is not as fast as it used to be. The curveball don't snap like it used to be. You know, even the bat speed is not there, but it's still fun to get out here and try as you get up there in age, bro.
It really is. I mean, you know, the game is fun. You know, how it's presented is always a thing, but definitely, you know, still playable, even, you know, at an older age. And, you know, when you talk about it's America's pastime, understand the history of it. And you know, we're you know, minority baseball prospects. And so when you're talking about minorities playing the game, if you look at the historical points of baseball, the game has always been a sense of pride when it comes to black people in general.
Definitely has always been a sense of pride from the streets of Brooklyn to the sandlots of any city, you know. And you know, I didn't grow up playing baseball like this, but I sure knew how to take an old broom handle and a tennis ball and get out there in the park and play.
And I was just sitting here thinking of that because that was one of the conversations, especially when it came to coaches within L.E.A.D, was that you don't have to have a whole lot to be able to teach the game. You know, talked about, you know, training overseas. And again, CJ Stewart is one of the most phenomenal hitting coaches on this planet. So, you know, him going over the fundamentals of just having, you know, having just a little, but being able to teach those fundamentals, you know, he's operated and worked with some of the best, and you can see their games ascend. But, yeah, when you don't have to have much to be able to play this game. But it always was a sense of not wanting to price out, you know, kids in playing this game.
Bro, right now, I don't care what sport it is, man. A lot of the sports have been priced out for the average person. I mean, your parents have to be beyond middle class now if you're going to play at a competitive level, because the single parent household, oh, good luck, especially if mom has multiple kids and dad has multiple kids. Good luck, because if you got 3 kids playing youth sports, man, you got to have 3 extra jobs to play nowadays.
But that just tells you about the importance of the organization, man, when it comes to what they're able to do. And again, I'll go ahead and put this plug out there. If you want to go see what they're about, go to leadtolegacy.org. Find ways to give to this organization, because, listen, it doesn't just operate, operate on with nothing. They are an organization that always needs your funds. So when it comes to what the organization is about and ways to give back, you can always go to leadtolegacy.org. That's the number 2, L-E-A-D, the number 2, legacy.org, and you can find ways. I'm sure there's multiple ways of giving back to the organization, but definitely when you're talking about what the organization represents, okay, when it comes to the organization in general, you know, hey, give back. They can always use your funds. And now we have here Mr. Ronell Blackman, host of this phenomenal game. You did a phenomenal job. Listen, I wish I had your energy. You bounced all around this field all day.
Yes, sir.
And it's not cold out here either.
It's not.
By any means. Talk about your involvement within the organization.
Man, my involvement with L.E.A.D has been phenomenal. I would say for the last man, what now, 14 years. I've been working with them and, had an opportunity to see them grow, see them develop, see them go from, working with just high school students, pulling them off the street, getting them involved with baseball, to now seeing like the continued efforts that they make, not only within the community, but then also in other organizations as well. I get a great opportunity to host the Peachtree Road Race. So 60,000 runners are on the 4th of July, are down at Lenox, and guess what? L.E.A.D is my favorite crew, right? When I see CJ, when I see Mackenzie, when I see the family, right? Like when I see them down there, and I remember one year, the most memorable moment of the Peachtree for me is when they let me wear the gold chain. Like when they let me wear the home run chain, right? But, for L.E.A.D, I just really respect and appreciate everything that they do, not only, again, for the community, but also for our community.
Yes.
Right? For African Americans to be able to see something different, to be able to experience something different, but then also to have a standard being set.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, when it comes to just doing this game in general, talk about the environment of today. When you're growing, this game has grown and just ascended and just has blossomed with 10 years being in. Absolutely. Talk about the atmosphere as you're going around the ballpark.
Man, the atmosphere is great. I mean, when you see competitors, when you see competition, when you see, just the difference in, hey, the Atlanta Police Department being a part of this, then it going to the Sheriff Department, then it going to now the FBI being, kind of shown, highlighted, and, having just those individuals that are, just a part of this game, this program, and then being able to communicate with, in a very social,
yes,
right, fun way, right? Their first meeting isn't in a probably less likely, fun,
right,
exciting environment, right? So to see them all having fun together, right, cheering for each other, but then also to see the families that come out, see the stars that come out, Matt Ryan, right, of your Atlanta Falcons, Jeff Francoeur, right, like to see them out here to support and to be a part of this event, just it elevates it even the more so, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now you said you mentioned the Peachtree Road Race, and you mentioned some of the athletes out here aren't athletic every day. Talk about just some inner workers of the dugout, and just talk about the responses you've gotten just rotating the field.
Yeah, so some of the interactions have been, hey, let's take the name to heart and be safe.
Okay.
Right? Like, let's not get injured. Let's not, tear anything, pull anything. But also, like let's be smart, right, about how we play. But then, also just being able to be coachable, right? Like for them to be able to self-officiate.
Yes.
Right? This game is just, for them to say, hey, that was a strike. No, it wasn't. It was a ball. And then go back and forth and say, you know what, let's settle right here. This is what it was. More people. And, like that environment of competition, but then also just the respect level of, man, right, person to person, just is being shown out here on the baseball field. And it's actually being appreciated not only from a fan's perspective, but also from a youth's perspective.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, when you're talking about, did you play baseball as a youth?
So I'm glad you said that. I did. And had I had the right coaches, I may have went further in my career, but I didn't have the right environment. Didn't have the right people around me to push me in that direction. It was more so basketball, football, track. Even soccer wasn't, something. So it was, baseball is during track season, right? And if I'm playing basketball and football, I probably can't train as, much as I should. But I did, and I loved it. It was a fun game. I would say it's more fun playing it than as I was growing up and just watching it, not being connected to the players. But here, we get a chance to be connected to the players. So it almost feels like you're playing.
There it is. Now, one last question. As far as the heat and everything was concerned, as far as everything that has gone on, we talked about you rotating all around this field. Stack that up with everything else that you have hosted, and tell me what's the number one thing.
Oh, this is the number one thing by far. It's number one thing by far. I mean, I'm talking about I'm hitting the stairs, right? Like I'm running over to, third base, first base. I'm out at the pitcher's mound. I got Kelly telling me, hey, Ronell, I need your mic, right? Like up here in the press booth, but then I need you back down there to do some interviews and give away some awards. I mean, it is the most interaction I get at any of my events. And then I know a lot of the people that are here as well. So definitely feel it's family friendly.
How many steps you get in today?
Bro, so I'm not gonna tell no lie. I can't give this event all my steps because I did have an event prior to.
Yeah, it is.
So I'm gonna say I probably got a good 10,000 though right here. Got a good 10,000 right here.
Ronell, we appreciate you joining us.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna definitely talk later.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you guys having us on.
Appreciate you.
Yep.
Right.
All right, Jamie. Man, this is great, and this is gonna be our coup de grace.
Yes, it is.
Of the interviews, my brother.
Listen, Mr. CJ Stewart just stepped. Mike, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. They be just coin. Look at him.
Poker chip.
Yes, it is. Listen.
It's a poker chip, but you know what I'm gonna do with this, man?
What you gonna do?
Because I officiate high school volleyball. It's my flip coin now.
There it is. Okay. I like it. I love it.
This is my new flip coin.
I love it. Absolutely love it. CJ, talk about this event today.
It is a commemoration of the killing of Mike Brown 10 years ago in Ferguson, Missouri. And so, that I had never heard of Ferguson prior to it. And so they were put on the map for the wrong reasons for a lot of people. And so when we think about the commemoration, it's just recalling what happened then. And several of those incidents continue to happen now. But in this event, this is the 10th year, but last year in this 9th year, we had our very first lead ambassador to switch over, and Brandon Sharp is now a full-time Atlanta Police Department officer for APD.
Wow.
And so, we definitely have some amazing relationships that are being built.
I'm gonna give you a true story. I'm originally from St. Louis, Missouri.
Okay.
At the age of 2, I lived in Ferguson, Missouri. Fast forward umpteen years later, after 2014, my baby sister was elected as the state representative that covered Ferguson in 2016. So the incidents from the Mike Brown situation helped lead to her becoming a state representative in the state of Missouri, in the 78th district there in Missouri. And she held that post into her second term, and then unfortunately she passed away in 2022. But still, it's just kind of, for me, hearing how you guys came about this post Mike Brown, knowing my personal connection, having lived in Ferguson, and then having that lead to my sister being elected to be a state representative. That what you guys doing is really personal to me. It's personal to my family, and I will say this now, knowing what you guys are doing with this. There's a foundation that we have back in St. Louis, the Core Faith Walker Foundation. I'm definitely going to contact the board members. I'm not a board member, even though I'm family, because I'm not there in St. Louis anymore. So I don't have the time to dedicate to a not-for-profit. You know how tough that is, doing it from a distance. But I'm definitely going to contact them and see if there's some type of connection that we can get to support you in honor of my late sister.
Awesome.
Now, CJ, I was talking to Kelly earlier and just witnessing how much the organization has grown. I've always, even stepping away from coaching and into more of the broadcast area, I've always supported what you all have done. Talk about the elementary school element of it and how it's impacted you personally.
Well, I think about when I was a student at Grove Park Elementary School, the Bulldogs, and just had a lot of amazing memories. And I was fortunate enough that I was able to play baseball at Cascade Youth Organization, but that was outside of my community. I was, born and reared in Zone 1 Bankhead, and so where I played at Cascade was your more middle and upper class African Americans. And so, now what we're doing is we're giving black boys that are being reared in Zone 1 an opportunity to stay home and play baseball. So I'm living through them, wishing that I would have had that. our lead ambassador team now, in collaboration with Minority Baseball Prospects, is a nationally recognized organization. So we have black boys that can flat out do it and are future major leaguers. And so now to be able to have elementary school boys that are part of our rookie league to be able to be in that pipeline to become major league players and major league citizens, it definitely feels good.
I know one of those visions you've always had for LEAD is that a mayor will come from the organization. Talk about the I guess the moral code and just core values and how that is still being emphasized. I know we talk about the baseball a lot, but I know Kelly alluded to it earlier when it came to just the things you do within the schools. Talk about what the next ascension is when it comes to what you're doing organizationally.
Yeah, so we, through our programming, year-round programming, it's a very deliberate effort, and they have 1 foot on the field and 1 foot in the community. So all of the things that they are required to learn, and I'm not saying required from the standpoint of it being overly strong, but in order to stay in an organization, you have to be learning about the people, places, and things. It's not taught in the K through 12 system, and they learn those things through Know Your Truth, which is the empowerment clothing line that our daughter Mackenzie Stewart started. And so within those things, it really helps them to understand why their community looks the way it does. Redlining is a real thing. Gerrymandering is a real thing. Understanding how financial support for schools comes from property taxes. Mm-hmm. So they get a chance to understand the policies that are affecting the people. But I'm a firm believer that problems are created by people so they can be solved by people. And so, this is just not an organization where you can just focus on baseball. And even to that point, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. needing the support of Jackie Robinson and Hank Aaron. He was an amazing man, but, you're not going to be able to make impact in this country without baseball. Baseball was invented in 1845. The Emancipation Proclamation was signed in 1863. And Moses Fleetwood Walker was the first black man to ever play Major League Baseball in 1884 when he made his debut.
You mean it wasn't Jackie Robinson like everybody
said?
Yeah,
Jackie Robinson was the first in the modern era, but Moses Fleetwood Walker was first. So even with those things right there, just helping them to understand that baseball is the sport of the black man. It's the sport of the black family. And then our programming continues to build on that. And, just lastly, even when we look at our current mayor, Mayor Andre Dickens, he grew up in Adamsville. Mm-hmm. He played baseball at Mays High School and had aspirations of playing Major League Baseball. Didn't play Major League Baseball, but he's definitely a great example of being a Major League citizen. Absolutely.
Now, you've alluded to the kids just a little bit because they were young. First of all, I look like who? Yeah. Expanding the programming now to tennis. Mm-hmm. How is that going?
Well, I'm excited about it. Tennis is not my area of focus at all. In fact, I get out there and I watch our daughters play, and I am high-functioning ADHD, so I have to I keep a timer on. I literally, I'll stay locked in for 30 minutes, and then I'm 30 minutes off, and then I'm 30 minutes on. So their matches are about an hour and a half. But what I have noticed is our 2 African-American daughters playing the sport and learning how to advocate for themselves. Cheating is a part of tennis culturally.
Baseball and tennis go together then.
For tennis. And so, the fact that you have young ladies and black young ladies that are out there playing and competing, and there's no referee, no umpire. Right. I don't know, what do they call it? Is it called referee or umpire? Umpires in tennis. And so, if you're being cheated on, and you have to advocate, for yourself. And so them getting the opportunity to literally volley verbally has really helped our daughters with their self-confidence. And so now to be able to do that same thing for black girls in elementary school, and many of them have now matriculated to middle school, I think it is a sport that's definitely going to prepare them to be the strong women leaders that we need in this city and in the world.
Absolutely, and your daughter Mackenzie, Started at Howard, correct? Went to Southern after that, correct?
Correct.
And then is now Georgia State. Graduated from Georgia State.
She did her 5th year at Georgia State.
So we are all HBCU graduates. So I had to throw that in there as well, because they, Kelly's always advocated for the HBCU product. You both have, and it's been phenomenal. So starting that tennis organization is great. But what is the next ascension for L.E.A.D? What is the next thing?
Well, so Kelly has taken on the role as our CEO, and when I started out as the CEO, when we were established, it definitely was more ceremonial, because even when I look at the role that she has right now, there's nothing that she does that I want to do. I pray for her and give her encouragement, but she has the highest salary in the organization.
You did pray for her. I would tell the story you chasing her down on 20. I remember that.
But that's why
but I got you.
I chased her down for this moment. But one of the things that she is really focusing on is getting things finalized for us to launch our capital campaign to build a baseball and tennis complex in the Center Hill community where I was born and reared. And what's amazing about that is, the world has to come to Atlanta anyway to compete in tennis and baseball.
That's right.
And so now with the world having to come here, we are preparing black children to compete against the world. And they will be ready, and they'll get a chance to compete in their community. We know that it's going to bring in a lot of other opportunities as well. That's what sports does. I mean, we just saw it in the Olympics. Beyond the sport being played on the courts and the field in the Olympics, I mean, it's economic development. And so even with the World Cup coming, so when I think about what's next for L.E.A.D, this complex is going to be amazing. It's going to be great for this city. I also think about the X-Men and how they had that mansion where all of the X-Men would come and they would be taught. And so that's basically what's going to happen. These children are going to be there, and again, 1 foot in the community and 1 foot on the field and the court. And I wear a fedora hat when I'm out at our games, and I have several of them that tell stories. But one of the fedoras I wear has the ace of diamond through the 5 of diamonds on one side, and then the other side it has jokers, because my goal is in the next 10 years to have the top 5 picks in a row come from our organization for baseball. And for those that are doubting, hating, questioning, they're the jokers. That's on the other side of the hat.
Okay.
So.
All right, last question. I know we're going to wrap this thing up because I know we got to get out of here. But social media is always a great thing because it gets vision on people and what they're doing. So I saw you training for the Peachtree Road race like you were Rocky, essentially.
Yeah.
After this ball game, I saw the first leg out the first. You were undecided whether or not you were gonna go to second.
Right.
Second one, you went to second. Will you be in the cold tub tonight?
I don't think so. I mean, I feel really, really good, and I actually have my trainer Brandon Butler at Pinnacle Fitness that as we train, and even with the Peachtree Road race, in January I was on crutches for a little over a week, and getting with him, I avoided surgery. I met with 2 orthopedic surgeons. One told me I needed full knee replacement immediately. The other told me that as long as I trained with Brandon and did all the things I needed to do, that I could avoid it. So I did that. But then I started a month ago training for this game, a lot of core work. So
you look good, man.
I appreciate it. I feel good. So
Hey, that first shot down the left field line, that looked good. Good bat speed.
Look like you still go back to the Cubs right now.
I'm so disappointed. I saw myself hitting it over the fence, but I wanted people to at least, me making that promise, I wanted them to at least say I was at least trying. So I didn't get up there and just try to hit a single. But all of that was fun. My next thing is I'm going to run a 10-miler with Ronell Blackman, and then I'm going to do the half marathon for Thanksgiving, and I'll get the triple peach for that. And then I'm playing in this game again next year. So, and then maybe Kelly will play next year too. I don't know.
He says a negative. Well, CJ Stewart, co-founder of L.E.A.D, it's been a pleasure to talk to you. I love what you all continue to do for the inner city youth and just youth across America, because you have you've put branches out there that nobody can ever tear down. I appreciate you personally for giving me the opportunity to work in the organization as well.
As one of our coaches.
Yeah. As one of the coaches, yes, definitely. It was a fun time at Harper Archer at that time. It's now elementary school, but definitely. And I appreciate you being with us and giving us your time.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Thank y'all.
All right. So, yes, we're going to wrap it up here from Georgia Tech again for the 10th annual Safe at Home game. It has been a phenomenal event for Roy Evans, for A.D. Drew. We're going to keep it here just for a second. Oh, we're not. Oh, we're going to wrap it up. So we're going to get out of here. Thank you for joining us here on the Minority Baseball Prospects TV. We'll see you next time.
Drop a like.